Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. Hey, David, man, what's up? You just joined the live stream. We are live already, and you just jumped right into the live stream as we just started. What's up, man, David? How you doing?
Yo, what's up? Thanks for waiting for me.
I didn't wait for you.
Oh, okay. Well, then I withdraw my words of gratitude.
Well, you're welcome. What's up, man? How you doing? How's everybody doing? Welcome, 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 everybody. Did you get a haircut?
What?
Did you get?
Oh, yeah. What's so funny?
Who
What?
gets a haircut, man? What's wrong with you? So, what's up, Johanna? Didn't even give time to trash talk. Yes. That doesn't sound nice. Luke Blaze said $2 to hit the Christianity is based button. I'm gonna do that right away, man. I'm gonna do that right away. I'm gonna get my screen ready here so we can start streaming this little conversation that I heard.
Christianity is based.
That work? Okay, good. So, yeah, no, I am laughing at David's forehead. That was the whole point. But yeah, Jack Ray, what's up, man? Welcome to the club. Jack Ray gifted 5 memberships, imprisoned 5 more people into the cult, and there is no escaping. Of course, if you leave this channel, you will be executed. That's how we roll. Soldier of Christ says, David, I saw your latest video. I'm really worried about you, and we don't want anything tropic happening to you. Please get authority involved ASAP. We can't lose you.
Oh yeah, someone just messaged me and said, "Hold up," said Malik just said on his live, someone named Jay Prince is supposed to off you in Houston. This guy, and then sent me a link to the guy's X page. So now I know who's gonna take out the Dizzle in Houston. So I got my eyes on you, buddy. I'll see you coming a mile away. Better have a good disguise on.
Yeah, people are not aware that we have solid security at the DebateCon event. So
yeah, sure we do. Oh wait, I forgot. I didn't share the link because I was late. Hang on, I'm going to go share this link.
What's wrong with you, man?
Talk amongst yourself. I will share this link.
Fantastic. I was just checking out earlier today the Hodge twins. Hodge twins. Have you heard of the Hodge twins?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They were pretty cool back in the day, going against the grain, saying whatever they thought, not being PC and stuff. And then I don't watch any of it, but I saw that they were having more Islam stuff, and I could tell you exactly how it's going to go based on how it went last time. It was when the U.S. and Israel or whoever were about to bomb Iran, and then they did a show about how Islam is actually peaceful, and they were asking ChatGPT. Get this, you're going to like this, AP. I wanted to do a video about it. Never actually did. I was gonna make the video called the Hodge Twins, HAJJ, right? Hodge Twins, get it? But they were on there, and they were saying there's no way that Iran would ever want to build a nuclear bomb, and it was because they asked ChatGPT, would Iranians ever want to build a nuclear bomb? And ChatGPT responded, no, because they're Muslims. And according to the Quran, if anyone kills a man, it's as if he's killed all mankind. And therefore, Muslims would never want to kill people, let alone build a nuclear bomb and kill tons of people. And so that was the message put out by the Hodge twins, who are also called, like their channel's called the Conservative Twins. These are conservatives now. And so we got these guys, Tucker, Candace, all oddly enough becoming super pro-Islam and even lying for it. So Tucker now makes fun of anyone who's concerned about Sharia. Candace says that the reason people are concerned about Islam is because the Jews are making us think that Islam has a problem with us. And you got the Hodge twins openly promoting Islamic propaganda. So if they've done it again, then I already know what direction that's going. Probably.
I was fine with leftists sucking up to and protecting Islam. I wasn't ready. I mean, I was kind of ready. In fact, I pointed it out many, many times that it's not just a leftist thing, that the danger always exists with the right as well, and that some people on the right might jump on it because people are people are opportunistic, and if people see an opportunity to jump on a popular narrative, it's something that plays into it.
They jump on a narrative like the Al Zut jumped on Muhammad.
Precisely. It might actually be worse when so-called conservatives do it. And I mean, to be honest, I don't know anything about these guys, so I can't really say much. Maybe these guys are very good, nice, cool guys, and whatever it is. But anything I've seen from them so far was just complete nonsense, and generally very low brow. So I'm not entirely sure if I can say anything positive about them. That said, I haven't watched much of their content. So for the last 2 years or so, they have been engaged in a lot of pro-Islamic propaganda, in pro-Palestine propaganda, in all kinds of anti-Western and anti-American narratives, ironically with America flags on their hats and all that, which is just always very, very funny to me. So they kind of went the same trend as Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and all these ridiculous people. And the latest stunt that they pulled is to invite two Muslim apologists on their show to set the record straight about Islam, which simply means to lie about Islam and to spread Islamic propaganda. They haven't spent much time inviting anybody who is actually critical of Islam and who understands Islam to come on and talk about it. Invite somebody who's critical to set the record straight. For example, they have invited, whenever they talk about Israel and when they talk about Jews, for example, they invite all kinds of the most notorious people on their show to trash talk that side. When it comes to Islam, however, they, of course, want to invite somebody who defends Islam because that is currently popular with their narrative. For the longest time, when people said that it's a leftist thing to defend Islam and all that, I thought I was a little bit skeptical. It very, very quickly reaches the right, and some opportunistic people on the right start engaging in that as well. And we have seen that in European politics. In Europe, much of the Islamic invasion that happened over the last 20 years was not done by leftists. It was done by so-called conservatives. It was done by so-called Christian parties and unions. It was done by so-called centrist or center-right parties, like in Germany, in the UK, and other places. And so being not leftist, being right-wing, being conservative doesn't make you immune to this kind of nonsense. And the Hodge twins, like many others, are a good example for just that. So they published a chat that they had with these two fellows. I have no idea who this guy is. His name is apparently Sonny Faz. And the other guy is...
I've heard that name. I don't know who it is, but I've heard that. Oh, and Beck Glover. So I've heard of both these dorks.
I have never heard of Sonny Faz, but I do know a little bit about this guy, Beck Glover. And Beck Glover, whatever I've seen from him, we just recently had an exchange. I think you had an exchange with him on Twitter, didn't you?
I may have responded to a tweet or something other than that. I don't remember responding much.
He's like he does the worst Islamic propaganda.
Yeah, that's an ongoing problem that, and I pointed out before, but like the Islamic stuff from that last year and this year is the same stuff from 20 to 25 years ago that we destroyed back then, and they stopped using a bunch of it for a while because they've just been destroyed so horribly, and now it's all coming back. Back Glover. Oh yeah, the Warner. Yep.
Not Back Glover.
He loves Malik's backside.
Not Back Glover, Johanna. IP destroyed him. IP2. So, it's a 2-hour video.
My laptop's unplugged. Let me get.
Look at this. We're in the middle of a professional TV production, in the middle of a professional podcast, and he's like, "Oh, my laptop is unplugged. Who knows what else is unplugged?" Terrible, terrible behavior. Terrible. I almost want to end the live stream right here. Very unprofessional. Somebody really needs to teach these people how to make proper video chapters. Whoever they are paying for this kind of stuff really needs to be talked to. Somebody needs to teach them how to make proper video chapters. You have to start with 0, 0, 0, 0. That's how you start. That's how you get video chapters.
Yes, but that's our IQ. So why do we need to say that?
If you do this on every single video, you start the first timestamp at a random spot and not at 0. You will not get assigned chapters on your video. And if you keep doing the same mistake over and over again, and you always lack the video chapters, there's probably something wrong with you. I don't know. You should probably pay attention to that a little bit. However, here it
First
is.
of all, thanks for having us on. At least when Armageddon starts, we can say that we tried to stop it.
Yeah.
All of us, literally. And that's really been,
When what happens?
when it starts, we can say, first of all, thanks for having us on. At least when Armageddon starts, we can say that we tried to stop it.
Yeah.
All of us, literally. And that's really been our work, trying to say, hey, there's a lot of propaganda out there that wants people to
You
believe
think?
that Christians and Muslims should fight and kill each other.
Mhm.
Me and
Yeah,
Sonny
it's
have
in the
been
Quran.
doing some-
Straight
Well,
out of the Quran, fight those who do not believe in Allah. Specifically mentions Jews and Christians as people who have to be violently subjugated. A lot of propaganda spread by Muhammad.
When Armageddon? Which Armageddon is he referring to?
The Jews! It's the Jews keeping us separate.
Wait a minute. IP debated Beck Lover?
Yep.
Why don't I know of this?
Probably because Beck Lover isn't important enough to pay attention to.
Stop calling
And
him
here
Beck.
we are, you paying attention to him. See? You
Stop
can't
calling
ignore
him
him.
Beck.
He's too powerful.
So
It's a mass
IP,
destruction, right?
Guys,
1 million people.
That's
IP did-
suffocation.
IP did debate Beck Lover about can Muslims and Christians collaborate, infidels and their perception, Ottoman Empire's legacy, understanding abrogation, historical accuracy of the Bible, descriptive. Blah, blah, blah. That is interesting. I had no idea. I'll tell IP to jump on if he wants to.
things. We just released a film together.
The
Sonny,
Muslim
get it.
Invasion of America.
Great name, no? The
Yeah.
Muslim
Oh,
Invasion of
very
America.
catchy.
They're coming to bring Sharia law. Valentina Gomez.
Yeah.
They're coming to bring Sharia to Texas.
Let me guess. Hold up. Let me guess.
The governor.
Sharia is just praying daily. Sharia is just getting to the gym on time. That's our jihad. That's what these words really mean. Yeah, Sharia is just basic Muslim practices that anyone would do. Why would you have a problem with this? Guarantee you. Guarantee you.
Of that. But by the way, I was born in Texas, by the way.
Right.
Okay, I'm-
Why do these guys all come out of Texas,
What do
man?
you do?
I grew up there my
you sound
whole
like
life.
mafia.
I grew up there my whole life.
Yeah.
I was born in Houston.
Did you
I
say he was
grew
born
up
in
in
Hitler and then say Houston?
He said, I grew up there my whole life.
Yeah, but he said, I grew up in Houston.
No, he grew up there his whole life. His whole life he grew up there.
In Houston, Texas.
Hmm.
6 years old, New York City. So I lost my y'all. It's a yo, but I'm trying to go
So his whole life he grew up in Texas and then 16-year-old New York City.
back and live down south, bro. We try, actually both of us want to get the hell out of the north.
Did he say that? Are you just
Houston, Texas.
Dude,
I grew up there my
you sound
whole
like
life.
mafia.
I grew up there my whole life.
Yeah.
I was born in Houston, Spring Houston, Texas.
Dude, he said
Told
hit.
Yeah, he was saying Hitler. He was halfway through Hitler and then he stopped.
So I lost my y'all. It's a yo, but I'm trying to go back.
I lost my I lost my y'all.
north
Mhm.
and try to go somewhere where people have morals a little more.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this. What exactly is Sharia law?
Here we go.
You
Watch.
want me to take this one?
Take this one, bro.
Watch.
Sharia
Pray,
law
just
is
praying.
like Islamic law. So praying 5 times a day is
Oh, like freaking clockwork, because that's what they all say.
There you go. It's just praying
It's
five
just
times a
praying.
day.
AP, so let me get the. Hey, what do you think the odds are that he's going to say, oh, and executing anyone who leaves the religion?
0.
And that's why, gosh, I mean, it's really, really sad that you had, as you pointed out, leftists for so many years. They become the megaphones for Islamic propaganda. They come out and it's absolute deception. It's straight up lies. And people on the left would just broadcast it for them. Tell us any lie about Islam and we will proclaim it to the entire world for you. We will be your amplifiers. We will be your megaphones for your lies and your propaganda, your deception. And now you got all these people on the right doing the exact same thing in the exact same way that we all used to just completely ridicule people on the left for defending this nonsense and propagating this nonsense. And
I think it's actually worse when people on the right do it. I think I don't remember seeing like masses of very popular left wing influencers and podcasters and speakers and social media people inviting Islamists on to present this whole beautiful Islam talking point. I think the right is actually worse when it comes to this. I've never seen this much huge, widely platformed, nonsensical Islamic propaganda on the left. I see it much more so on the right, and I thought it would be this way, and it is that way, and usually done by very, very dishonest, very dumb people. Give me examples of leftists of extremely famous, popular leftist platforms hosting people like this to talk about how beautiful Sharia actually is. I'm not talking about TV shows. I'm not talking about TV hosts inviting random people for ratings. I'm talking about the actual, regular, popular leftist influencers.
Law, giving to charities, practicing Sharia law, smiling, and Sharia law.
Look, here's the thing. If you ask me what Sharia law is, I could sit down and actually honestly say, or if somebody asks me, is praying 5 times a day part of Sharia? I would say, yeah, sure, it is. Okay. However, killing infidels or fighting the disbelievers, subjugating them, killing apostates, killing blasphemers, and all that is also part of Sharia. In fact, it's the most problematic part of Sharia. These guys always come and act like they don't know what we are talking about when we point out how problematic Sharia is. Oh, Sharia, no, it's just about prayer. Okay, sure, it is about prayer. However, you know exactly why people have a problem with Sharia. You know exactly what people have a problem with. It is the violent laws, the discrimination, the hate, the war, and all that is also part of Sharia. That's what people have a problem with. When you start making it about, oh, it's about praying and all that, you are simply dishonest. You are lying by omission. You know exactly what people are talking about.
So it's being Islamic, like being a Muslim is following Sharia law, essentially.
And being a Muslim means also killing people for leaving Islam. I'm glad you cleared that up.
How about chopping off Christians' heads and stuff
We'll
like
get
that?
to that. Can I jump in and just put a little point on what he said?
Yeah.
It's the same thing if you're a Jew or a Christian.
Mhm.
You're supposed to live by the laws of the Bible. What's morally acceptable and not. And it's not black and white.
Right.
What a lot of people don't know is that Western democracy is actually built on Sharia law.
Dude, who started this dumb narrative, man?
are you freaking kidding me? It's
I'm really curious. Who started this nonsense? This is a new talking point that I haven't heard much of before. Let's see. Do you have any idea when this nonsense started?
I don't know, but yeah, you're right. I have heard it in the past, but I have been hearing it more lately. Yeah. Western democracy based on Sharia, you freaking idiots. Hey, by the way, which one is Sonny Faz and which one's Beck Glover? Is the older one Sonny Faz or Beck Glover?
This one is Sonny Faz, and this one
The
is
older
Beck.
guy's Beck Glover?
Yeah.
He sounds like a rap name, but he's like, I don't know.
He's a Beck lover, man.
50s?
So I have recently heard this entire this whole dumb talking point. Western democracy is actually based on Sharia, and the court system is also based on Sharia. This is complete nonsense. This is complete nonsense. It's not even something that is like half true, and then exaggerated by them. For example, you could say that Muslim societies or Muslim civilizations, in the Middle Ages and later on, or before, contributed to the preservation of science or of certain literature and things, of philosophical texts and all that, and then you can exaggerate that into Islam brought science. That would be like something half true that you then build upon to spread Islamic propaganda. This here is complete nonsense. It's not even half true. There is no truth behind any of it at all. Sharia did not in any way influence Western democracy or anything like that. It has nothing to do with Sharia.
Of course it did. The founding fathers got together and they said, we don't like this tyrant King George. What should we do? I know. Let's look up. Let's gaze upon the Quran and think upon its principles and use them to build our constitution. Hey, you know what's weird? They on the one hand, they condemn Western democracy and say, look how it leads to immorality. That's why you need to abandon Western democracy and go to Islam. And then the other half will go, you see, you like Western democracy? That's because Islam produced it. They always want to play both sides of every single issue. You don't like the LGBTQ? Then you need Islam because we will destroy them. Oh yes, hey LGBTQ, you should be working with us because we're your biggest allies. Every side of every issue they want Islam on. It's pathetic.
Let me see. I invite the Hodge twins to a live stream to discuss Islam with them.
Hey, tell those Hodge twins, bring these two dudes back on and bring me and AP on, and we'll go through the sources and see if they line up with anything these guys are saying.
And they say they're open to anything. I messaged them before in the past, but they didn't.
You know who else was open to anything?
Muhammad.
Mo.
Yeah.
Anyway. We want to ask these guys about Muhammad and the men of al-Zut. Huh? We got some questions about Muhammad and the men of al-Zut for these guys.
Trial by jury comes from Islam. I don't know if you guys know this.
I didn't know that.
He built on Sharia law. Trial by jury comes from Islam. I don't know if you guys know this.
I didn't know that.
So the problem is we got 20-second
These guys are like, oh yeah, I don't know. Wow, you're teaching me. What kind of things are you teaching me? Wow, this is so awesome.
Hang on. I mean, Socrates was tried by jury. Wait, what?
Well, that comes from Islam, of course.
Oh yeah, time traveling Muslims.
Yeah.
TikTok memories in this country and the world,
Mhm.
and these are very
You see, so Charlie Kirk was a time traveler according to Kenneth Owen. So Charlie Kirk really didn't like Islam. Why did Charlie Kirk not like Islam? Because when he traveled through time and went to the ancient Greeks, right, he witnessed Islam there directly influence democracy and court trials and all that. He saw that and he didn't like it. So he time traveled into the future in our time, and he ended up really disliking and hating Islam and was therefore against Islam. That's how it works, man.
complicated subjects that most people have no knowledge of. Most people
They
don't
couldn't because you made it all up.
let alone other faiths. And that's why we're out here to most people don't know anything about their own faith, let alone other faiths.
Well, neither do you. So
And that's why we're out here to speak. I felt compelled. This is something I never
I actually watched the first 5 minutes of this. I didn't watch these parts, but I watched a little bit further here, and he shows in a minute that he has no idea about Christianity.
wanted to talk about in my life. I started doing interviews 7 years ago. My podcast was to inspire people to get back up after something. You know, I would interview like John A. Light. I had Carol Baskin on from Tiger King, right?
Mhm.
And it was about their lives, what they've been through. But then once everything shut down in 2019 and the globalists went all out, and then I'm seeing all the propaganda coming on, like, I'm going to speak, man. I was on the Danny
Yeah,
Jones podcast.
I don't like
We
propaganda.
broke the internet. We went crazy. We're talking about the differences in faiths and all that stuff.
It's a funny thing. I saw a post yesterday that said, "Those who don't buy propaganda know that so and so is fake." People have this whole thing like propaganda bad. Don't believe propaganda. Believe what I say. That is by definition propaganda. What this guy is doing here is by definition propaganda. What I do very often is by definition propaganda. What everybody does is by definition propaganda very often. What many influencers or anyone on social media does is by definition propaganda. People love to use these concepts of like, oh, this thing that I don't like is propaganda, whereas what I speak is, of course, the truth.
At the bottom line is Sharia law is
You heard it here, though, right? The globalists caused him to sit down and to explore Islam. So the globalists cause people to the globalists make people convert to Islam. It's the fault of the globalists. You can see that, right? I knew it, man.
to a Muslim what kosher law and the rules of the Torah are to
Hang
the
on,
Sharia
hang
law.
on, hang on, hang on.
We went crazy. We're talking about the differences in faiths and all that stuff.
Mhm.
The bottom line is Sharia law is to a Muslim what kosher law and the rules of the Torah are to the Jew, as the same laws would be to a Christian.
Remember how I just said that he has no idea about Christianity? Did you hear that, David?
And the rule at the bottom line is Sharia law is to a Muslim what kosher law and the rules of the Torah are to the Jew, as the same laws would be to a Christian. But of course,
David, do Christians are the same laws applied to applicable to Christians in Christianity?
Yes, everyone follows the exact same laws from everywhere.
Thank you.
All
within the
Turks
religion
know
of
this.
Islam,
And if you just read a little bit about Christianity, you would understand that Christianity doesn't work that way. If you just read, I don't know, man, just some highlighted random pieces of taken from the New Testament, you would understand that Christianity is not about that at all. It's like, no, but the Old Testament, the Torah laws, also apply to Christianity. Dumb.
if you live in a foreign nation, you must abide by those rules.
That's part of Sharia law.
The Prophet Muhammad said, peace be upon
Wrong.
you, but of course, within the religion of Islam, if you live in a foreign nation,
Listen, he's going to make up a
you
quote.
must abide by those rules.
I challenge any Muslim right now, any Muslim anywhere. I can record this, we can clip it, we can publish it. I challenge Muslims anywhere and everywhere. We keep hearing this. I have heard this again and again and again and again and again.
Well, he
and
quotes
again.
Muhammad.
Give me the quotes. Tell me exactly where the Quran or the Hadith
Give me the
teach
quotes.
Muslims or tell Muslims or order or command Muslims to abide by the laws of whatever land they live in. Please give me the source. There are only two things that you might give me. One is a Quran verse, which says that that everybody has to obey Muhammad and everybody has to obey the ruler, and those who disbelieve and so on, as the Quran usually goes. It's clearly talking about their authorities, their Muslim authorities. It never ever says that you are supposed to follow the laws of the land wherever you live. And they might follow they might quote a hadith where Muhammad says that you should obey those who are in charge of you, by which he's clearly referring to your Muslim leaders. There is no source at all which tells Muslims explicitly that they have to abide by the laws of any land they live in. Give me one source, which is not some ambiguous command about Muslim lands.
The impression I get from the early Muslim sources is they didn't have much of a concept of Muslims living in someone else's land. It's you would live with the Muslims. Like why would you want to live somewhere else under non-Muslim rules when you have the Ummah, right? And so you would obviously, as a Muslim, this is the impression you get. You want to live with the Muslims. You don't want to live somewhere else. And you fast forward several centuries, and Muslims realize, wow, Muslim countries really suck compared to non-Muslim countries. So we all want to go live in non-Muslim countries.
So wait, somebody said, why do I have ads cutting off the stream? I don't think that should be happening. Let me see. Hang on. Mid-roll ads automatic. Okay, yeah, that's the problem. I disabled it now. All right. Sorry about that. That shouldn't be happening.
It's actually messed up because they change that crap. Like I had mine set up to where it wouldn't put any ads in unless I wanted them. I would only ever have them at the beginning unless they started sticking them in and so on. And then all of a sudden, people were complaining too many ads, and I looked, and they had like 10 ads in a live stream. It's like, what the heck, man? Specifically tell you, I don't want you guys to do that. What the heck?
Yeah.
That's part of Sharia law.
The Prophet Muhammad said, peace be upon him, when you live in a foreign land, you must obey their laws.
Oh, what hadith is that?
Can you give me the source for that?
Yeah, what's that? And guess what? The Hodge twins are too dumb to say. Because keep in mind, it would be show me that. I want to read it. I want to see it.
Can you give me a source for that, please? Which hadith is it? Tell me the hadith. Tell me the hadith. Which hadith is it? Tell me the hadith. Come on.
And if you can't obey their laws and you feel like it's a threat to you being able to practice your faith, then you're required to migrate or perform what we call hijr.
That is correct.
Practice your faith, then you're required to migrate or perform what we call hijr.
That is correct. And that's what I tell Muslims too. The Quran actually tells Muslims that if they are oppressed, or it kind of rhetorically actually says it, wasn't there enough land for you to migrate to? if you can't, if you are oppressed, if there is fitna and all that. So the logic there is then the reason I bring it up. Maybe we should bring this up more. Maybe I should make a video about this sometime in the future. The logic is if Muslims claim that they are being oppressed or discriminated against in the West, then the Quran tells them that they should be moving to a different place. They should be doing hijrah. They should be emigrate to a different place where they can practice their faith and their lives and all that freely. So if Muslims claim that they are being mistreated and oppressed in the West, they should be leaving and moving somewhere else, right? That's what the Quran says. I think Muslims should follow their own faith a little bit more and, get out.
The Quran is very Islamophobic.
Thank you.
So that's number one. But again, it would be the same thing. Then there's different sects in Islam, right? Some might say it's this.
It's a different sex.
It's open to interpretation.
Right.
But as far as chopping off the heads of Christians, if you find that in the Quran, I'll get baptized today.
Oh, whoa. Now they did this. Yeah, guys, the Quran says, fight the people of the book. Fight them until they pay the jizya.
But it doesn't say chop off their heads.
Yeah, so notice they always do this.
Tell me where it says word for word, chop off the heads of Christians.
Gosh, who was that guy? Who's that guy who said, my brain's fried right now. After a long couple days at the Quran Demolition Ranch, that dude who said that Jesus was born 3 centuries before Christ. No, he said that the Catholic Church was formed 3 centuries before Christ by Alexander the Great. That dude, Yusuf Estes, another Texan. I guarantee you this guy had some connection to Yusuf Estes, because Yusuf Estes would spout this idiotic nonsense too, but he would do the same thing. So I remember he'd be asked a question, why does the Quran encourage violence against Jews and Christians? And then he would go, okay, so the question is, why does the Quran say kill all Jews and Christians? Well, guess what? The Quran doesn't say kill all Jews and Christians. This is a myth. And it's like, that's not what anyone said. It said, why does it encourage violence against Jews and Christians? And he would change the subject. But yeah, these guys actually asked, what about beheading Jews and Christians? No, it's fight Jews and Christians until they pay you money. And if they refuse to pay you money, then you kill them. How you kill them would kind of be up to you.
Hey, what are you doing here, man?
The heck
I
are
don't
you
know.
doing?
I just showed up. What do you want? What do you want?
I'm just saying, what are
Yeah.
you doing, man? People having a
I don't know.
peaceful live stream.
We're talking
I heard.
about
You talking about what?
Backlover.
Oh, that guy that tried to debate me and then said after that if he debates me again, that time he'll smoke me. That guy? Oh yeah. He put out a video coping saying, "Well, if I debate you again, I will destroy you." Okay, buddy, sure.
I had no idea until early today until early in this live stream that you actually debated him. I had no idea. I didn't.
Yeah, I went to Vegas and debated him, and boy, was he thoroughly unprepared. It did not look good, and yeah, I mean everyone saw. But he says, hey, if I ever debate him again, he's going to school me apparently. So okay, buddy.
Well, he's going to school you if he debates you again. So are you going to debate him again?
I'd be happy to debate him again, but
He's going to school you, man. He's going to spook you.
Apparently,
No, it's I mean, I don't even know why he debated you the first time, because the strategy, maybe he didn't get the memo, but the strategy now is to avoid anyone who knows anything about Islam or the Dawah script and just go on programs like the Hodge twins, who you can say anything to, and they and their stupid followers will believe anything because they don't know anything.
Is that why Sonny Foz blocked me? Is that why Sonny Foz blocked me on X and won't talk to me? And even though I've asked for a conversation with him multiple times, he has me blocked now. So that's interesting.
Let me see. Sonny Faz.
Yeah, he has me blocked.
He has me
David.
too. I interacted with him.
What's up?
Yeah. He's got you blocked too. Oh yeah, I just heard from somebody on TikTok, a fan of mine, that apparently your good old pal Malik has held up a wad of cash and said someone in Houston is supposed to off you, if you know what I mean. But yeah, thought I'd let you. Also, Hatun was apparently implied that she needs to start getting hassled by the infamous mediocre villain, the Hassler. So that's apparently happening right now. I was just informed of these things.
I was looking around and saying, "Oh, I got no Qurans, but I found one. Oh, look, beautiful new one. D Woods got
Yep.
all the crowns. I was thinking I destroyed all of them at the Quran demolition ranch, but here we are. I just want everyone to know how scared I am. The guys are gonna off me. So
Hey, I just wanna-
scared. What?
I just want to do one thing here. So, I want to directly take this guy's challenge here. So, hang on a second.
Hang on.
Christians, if
Hang
you
on.
say it's this, it's open to interpretation.
Right.
But as far as chopping off the heads of Christians, if you find that in the Quran, I'll get baptized today.
All right. So here it is. In chapter 9, verse 29 of the Quran, it says the following: Fight those of the people of the book who do not believe in Allah and the last day, who do not forbid what Allah and His Messenger have forbidden, and who do not obey the rule of justice until they pay the jizya and agree to. This is a very terrible translation. Until they are subdued. So, for all those who are wondering, who don't know the topic, what are the people of the book? You can easily find out. The people of the book. I'm not looking for a freaking novel. In most applications, people of the book is simply used by Muslims to refer to the followers of Judaism and Christianity, with which Islam share. So it is by definition Jews and Christians. So according to the Quran, in chapter 9, verse 29, it tells Muslims to fight the Jews and the Christians until they pay jizya and or surrender and convert to Islam. So this here directly tells Muslims to fight the Christians and the Jews and to kill them. Now, it doesn't explicitly say chop off the heads of Christians. However, that is clearly what is also part of it here. So according to Beck Lover, if somebody can point at the Quran and show it here, he will get baptized and become a Christian. Beck Lover, I have showed it to you. Are you ready
Beast.
to get baptized and become a Christian? Now, if you're going to weasel your way out of this and say, but it
Oh, he
doesn't
will.
say chop off their heads, then that just makes you a dishonest weasel.
All right. Hey,
What?
expand on that a bit. Because Muslims will say, what does fight mean here? What's it mean to fight? Same chapter tells you what he means by fighting in Allah's way. So go to 9:111.
Hang on.
Hang
want
on.
to Get rid of this dumb translation here.
And then I got a
Stick with you,
hadith
stick-
I want to add after that. I got a
You
nice
got,
level
you got no
hadith.
hadith, man. You ain't got no
Which verse?
hadith. I'm the one who's
Which
got
verse?
all the hadith here.
Which verse?
9:111.
111.
Turks need to open their ears.
All right.
Indeed, Allah has purchased from the believers their lives and their properties in exchange, it's a barter, in exchange for that they will have paradise. They fight in the cause of Allah, so they kill and are killed. You just keep killing until you get killed. So notice, it's what does it mean to fight in Allah's way? They fight in the cause of Allah. What does it mean to fight? Surah 9, verse 29. Oh, maybe it just means peacefully discussing these things. No. Fighting in the cause of Allah means you kill and get killed, right? You keep killing until you get killed, and that's the dream of every Muslim. Now, go to 47:4. Just one more. Surah 47, verse 4.
Surah 47.
How are you going to fight? How are you going to fight? How are you going to fight these people who don't believe in Islam? How are you going to fight them? How are you going to fight? So when you meet those who disbelieve, strike their necks until you have inflicted slaughter upon them. Strike their necks. I forget. There's a translation that actually translates it as chop their heads off, because if you're striking at their necks, you're obviously trying to check their.
No, man, it's just like this. Just like this.
What? Oh yeah, just giving you a little slap on the back of the neck.
Then secure their bonds and either confer favor afterwards or ransom them until the war lays down its burden, and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah,
So,
I looked the non-Muslim. I've seen. I forget which Muslim translation it is, but I looked up the non-Muslim translations, and Palmer translates it. Then strike off their heads until you have massacred them. Rodwell, strike off their heads till you have made a great slaughter. Sale, when you encounter the unbelievers, strike off their heads. So there you got. Put it all together.
Yep.
do you got
And
here?
then you got this lovely hadith, Sahih Muslim 22. I have been commanded to fight against the people till they testify that there is no God but Allah, that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and they establish prayer, pay zakat, and if they do it, their blood and property are guaranteed protection on my behalf, except when justified by law. So, yeah, there you go. He's been commanded to fight until you basically are a Muslim.
So, what did he say? He said, if you can point at the Quran where it says, chop off the heads of Christians, I will become a Christian. Have we demonstrated that the Quran says, chop off the heads of Christians? No. So we have been destroyed. There you go.
If you find, no, I'm serious.
Look, even he's laughing.
Right.
I swear to God, we'll get a
Right.
pool and I'll get baptized. If you find in the Quran
Yeah.
where Christians are infidels or Jews are infidels, I'll get baptized any church. Any denomination.
Surah 9, verse 30 and following.
Mhm.
It's much simpler than that. It is much simpler than that. Chapter 5, verse 17. Those who say Allah is the Messiah, the son of Mary, are defying the truth. Say, if it had been God's will, could anyone have prevented him from destroying the Messiah, son of Mary, together with his mother and everyone else on earth? Control of the heavens and earth has been so and so and so and so. Follow up, chapter 5, verse 73. Those people who say that Allah is the third of the three are defying the truth. I hate
That's not us. I know. I've never said Allah is a third of three. It's like
Saeed,
a lot
I've,
of
never, I've never heard
They
one
have
Christian say that.
certainly disbelieved who say Allah is the third of the three and there is no God except one God. So they have
You're an
certainly
unbeliever.
disbelieved.
That's an infidel.
They are disbelievers. Now let's see what the word here is. Here is the word.
كفر
Kafara,
Kafir.
which has engaged in kufr, has disbelieved, has kafara, is a kafir, is an infidel, is a disbeliever. So, according to the Quran, further in chapter 5, verse 72, those who say Allah is the Messiah, or God is the Messiah, if you really want to have that stupid, this translation or this writing of it, whoever said, they have certainly disbelieved, once again, here's the word,
كفر
who say Allah is the Messiah, the son of Mary, while the Messiah said, "Oh, children of Israel, worship Allah, my Lord and your Lord." Sure, he said that. So the Quran clearly says that those who are Christians, right? It's quite clear. It describes Christian beliefs. It describes the foundation of what Christianity is, of what Christians believe, and says that they are disbelievers, that they have disbelieved. So if you have a little bit of a few brain cells left, you should understand that what these verses are saying is that Christians are disbelievers. Christians are kuffar, kafirs, infidels. It also says, indeed, they who disbelieved among the people of the scripture and the polytheists will be in the fire of hell, abiding eternally therein, referring to Christians and Jews and others. So the Quran clearly does describe the Christians and the Jews as infidels, as disbelievers. It clearly describes their beliefs as kufr, as disbelief. Now let's hear once again what he said about this.
Get a pool and I'll get baptized. If you find in the Quran where Christians are infidels or Jews are infidels, I'll get baptized any church, any denomination.
If you find
All
in the
right.
Quran where Christians are infidels, I will get baptized. I will become a Christian, he says. Well, we have just shown it. When are you going
I
to
am
become
so happy to welcome Beck Lover into the one true religion, the kingdom of God. We are so happy and we are ready to welcome you back now that we have shown you this. We are ready for you to confess that Jesus is Lord and you believe that God rose him from the dead. This is going to be wonderful. Congratulations.
Dude, if you're going to invite him to Christianity, at least stop calling him a Beck lover.
I will say when I debated Beck, he was super nice and respectful.
Do you think he spoke? Do you think he spoke truthfully and accurately?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I think he got a lot of crap wrong. He interrupted
I'd
me a lot.
rather someone be a total jerk and speak the truth than be super nice and speak endless lies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, I did say if more Muslims were like him, I think we wouldn't have a lot of the problems we do, because he had said, like, we were talking before the debate about how my debate with Daniel Hakikichi went, and he was mortified that there was a Muslim defending child marriage. And so, I mean, like, yeah, it'd be great if more Muslims were like that. The problem is Daniel's more consistent with what his religion actually teaches. Beck isn't. And that's one of the points I kept trying to make to him in the debate.
Powerful.
You guys pick whatever you want. Jehovah's Witness, baptism, I'll start dancing.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Whatever denomination,
I'm gonna hold you to it.
All right.
Gomer Pyle here. The Hodge twins both sound like Gomer Pyle, man. They look,
All right.
they look as cool as you can possibly look, and then they open their mouths. And, howdy, y'all. We the Hodge twins. Surprise, surprise, surprise. But then they can turn it off and all of a sudden sound cool to go, we got a good show for y'all. Yeah. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And then they go back to normal. Anyway, I don't know.
All right, Backlover. So you promised it. You are going to get baptized and become a Christian. So here goes. You have been you made 2 claims. Both of those you have made 2 challenges. Both of those challenges have been met successfully. It is now time for you to become a Christian. Of course, I would not tell you that you should become a Christian based on some challenge, but those are your standards.
But I'm gonna do my research.
Okay.
You're not gonna find. But 9/11.
Wait,
That
who's
turned.
that?
Do my research.
9/11 had nothing to do.
But-
No, what? No.
He
They're
said
probably
you
going to blame the Jews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot,
that's all.
lot of people said that was Muslim, but we figured
Yeah,
out it was Jews. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Look at this. Look at this.
Dancing.
I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna
We're
do
talking about
Wait, hold on. Hang on a second. Look at this.
speaking
He
of
says,
dancing. What about them dancing Jews?
he says, I'm going to hold you to it.
Okay.
You're not gonna find. But
I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna research. This guy immediately says, "You're not gonna find it." I mean, it could just be said in jest, but this actually is quite a clear reflection of how these guys act and how they get the information. He heard this dumb claim from Backlover that you cannot find in the Quran anything that says chop off the heads of Christians or that it describes Christians as infidels. This guy immediately believes it. He's not just joking about it. He actually believes it. He's like, okay,
I'm an
well,
expert on Islam now,
told me
y'all.
that. You told me that. And yeah, of course, you must be right. You must be right.
9/11. That turned Muslims into the boogeyman here in this country. Because I remember when it happened, it was such a shocking experience for all of us. And I was watching Fox News, which is actually Fox Jews News or whatever you want to call it. They
It's Fox Jews.
All right, so Fox News is Fox Jews. There you go. The Jews control Fox News. The Jews are in charge of Fox News, you see? And Fox News controls the country.
was asking the question, why did this happen? And this is what they told America. They said they hate our freedoms. They want to kill us. Yeah, that's why they did what they did.
They do hate our freedoms. What are you talking about? That's
see-
Sharia law.
Yeah, that's correct. See, in America, I have the freedom to do this. Notice, no one's showing up to lock me up. In the UK, I mean, I might be in all kinds of trouble. In the US, no one's going to stop me for doing this. Do they hate that I have this freedom, or do they really, really like that I have this freedom? Now, with that said, it was it wasn't the real issue back then when they were saying it. They just hate our freedom. It's actually very, very simple and straightforward from Islam. In fact, on their other podcast where they talked about Islam, and they said, no, Iran would never want to build a nuclear bomb because the Quran says if anyone kills a man, it's as if he's killed all mankind. It's actually a quote from the Talmud. So following that reasoning, Israel never built nuclear bombs ever. And that could be used to prove that Israel didn't have a nuclear program, right? Anyway, so that verse is actually a quote from the Talmud, and it says in the Quran, this is for the Jews. The very next verse commands Muslims to kill, crucify, and dismember people for the vague crime of making mischief or causing corruption in the land. So you kill people who make mischief in a Muslim land. Now, AP, IP, whoever wants to speak. From an Islamic perspective, does the United States of America make mischief in Muslim lands?
Yes.
Okay. So the leaders who do this and the military especially would be guilty of making mischief in Muslim lands and would therefore be under a death sentence. But you also have Muhammad saying that anyone who funds a soldier gets the same reward as the soldier. In other words, if someone wants to go out and fight and you're not going out and fight, but you pay for his armor, you pay for his sword, you pay for his horse back in the day, you get the same reward as he does when he goes out and fights. But think about this. Who actually pays for the soldiers who make mischief in Muslim lands. The U.S. soldiers who make mischief in Muslim lands. Who pays for them ultimately? The U.S. taxpayer. That's who does it. And so back when people were saying 9/11, that had nothing to do with Islam because Islam says this, and I was responding. It was interesting because I never read the Al Qaeda stuff and so on. I just said, actually, from an Islamic perspective, anyone who makes mischief in a Muslim land is under a death sentence, especially when it's the extreme form of, an actually foreign military making mischief, and that would be the most severe type of mischief you can make in a Muslim land. And then the people who fund those soldiers get the same reward. Okay, well, that would be a death sentence. No, they can just flat out kill U.S. civilians. So they can just target random civilians because those civilians are funding the military and the government that's making mischief in Muslim lands. And so I was just saying this based on the teachings of Muhammad. I was saying, here's exactly how you would justify it. And after I was speaking one day, a guy walks up to me and he says, "You just said exactly what Osama bin Laden said in the Al Qaeda Reader." That was his justification. He said he was using it to defend the 9/11 attacks. He said the people in that building are the ones paying the governments that's killing Muslims in Muslim lands.
Yeah.
I just had a Muslim respond to my video. Islam will destroy everything. I did that video like in November, December. And like we reviewed it on my channel like a week or so ago. But like we got to the section where I was going over Sharia law and how Christians are not treated equal. We're not allowed to carry weapons or ride horses. And he gets to that section, and for the most part, he's like, "Yep, this is what Sharia law teaches. Christians and Jews are not equal under the Sharia. They're not allowed to defend themselves by having weapons or anything like that." He just basically agreed. Yeah, we don't have freedom of speech. We don't have freedom to evangelize or build new churches. We're basically treated as second-class citizens. And he was like, "Yep, that's all true." So yeah, they do detest our freedoms. They would if they were to ever get power, they would abolish things like the First and the Second Amendment. So this idea that Islam is compatible with the West is absurdly stupid. It just isn't by that simple logic.
And some may say it's a bit gay.
So
Sure.
I have something to say about all of that. I think I asked this question to you, David, before in the past, or maybe I asked somebody else. I don't know. So when somebody says we were told that 9/11 happened because they hate our freedoms, or Muslims are bad because they hate our freedoms, to me this sounds a little bit absurd. But my understanding, when I asked if that is the narrative that was actually pushed around the time of 9/11, I heard that it was actually pushed. Correct? So this was actually what people were told, that Muslims hate us because they hate our freedoms, or something like that. Is that true? Nobody's listening. So, my issue with that is, of course, yeah, Muslims do hate your freedoms. Islam does hate your freedoms. Islam is very much against your freedoms. Muslims are against your freedoms. Muslims will not give you those freedoms in their own lands. But there's, of course, much more nuance to that, right? 9/11, of course, did not happen because Muslims hate your freedoms. Muslims were.
Hey, AP, your people are complaining. And I'm sat hearing it as well. Your mic sounds a little messed up.
Yeah,
sounds like
your
you're
mic's
coming
fading
through.
in and out, man.
Yeah,
What the
that
heck?
sounds weird.
Why don't you get good equipment for once in your life?
Dude, I just got a new microphone,
Yeah, it's working really well.
and
Opposite world.
That's very funny.
Probably your
Now it sounds
settings.
okay.
No, it sounds okay.
Yeah, I guess when you just talk like that, it sounds fine. I think when you're moving your head around and doing stuff, it doesn't.
So yeah, as I was just saying, no, 9/11 is of course a result of multiple different things. But what we were told, so I grew up among Muslims. I was raised by a Muslim family in Germany. I grew up among many other Muslims. And even among those who did not perpetrate 9/11, even those who did not, who were not behind the 9/11 attacks, we were already given a little taste of the justification for it, because we were told that the West is causing trouble and oppression and corruption in Muslim lands. So America is responsible for Muslim nations or Muslim people being killed and oppressed. Other Western nations, of course, are generally seen together with America as a collective, as part of the Western world. And other non-Western European countries or non-Western Christian countries are then also seen as, again, part of the same pack as Christians. So Christians are oppressing Muslims. Therefore, they, of course, deserved what they got on 9/11. That is the idea. So it is more than simply hating your freedoms, and they will justify it with, with actual conflict. They will reference actual conflict, supposedly caused by America and by the Western world and by Christians. But that is their reasoning. America did something wrong in Iraq and did something to some people there, and those people are Muslims. Therefore, we as Muslims are collectively have this feeling and maybe this obligation to oppose the West and to oppose the Christians, and to also justify or downplay or simply dismiss and laugh off the killing of Christians throughout the West. That is basically, it is very, very messed up, but that's basically the idea. And let's be very honest. I've said this many, many times. I grew up in Germany as a Muslim, as a Turkish Muslim. I had lots of Muslims around me. When 9/11 happened, I don't remember a single Muslim who actually was very upset about it, or was very, felt that it was a tragedy or anything. Most people either justified it or dismissed it, or said, well, they had it coming. They deserved it. This is simply the mindset. But these guys will now sit down and will start with conspiracy theories about that. And the same thing is actually what what people very close to me did. When it happened, they said, well, the West deserved it. Why would I care about their deaths? Do they cry about Iraq? Do they cry about people in Afghanistan dying? And then in the next breath, in the same breath, they will start saying, actually, it wasn't Muslims, it was Jews who did it. And now, let's listen.
They hate that you can eat cheeseburgers. It's
All of that.
They're coming for you.
Yeah, but it turns out, I learned a lot later, is that when those were Muslims that attacked us on 9/11, correct? or not?
so-called, yeah, so-called.
So-called? Okay, so-called.
I mean, I don't know. Do you believe in the official story?
Dude, I don't believe anything the FBI, the government.
I was there.
Yeah.
So I was underneath the World Trade Center the day it was hit.
Mhm.
I was on the E train. So anyone that's from New York City,
And that's how I know
Therefore,
it was. That's how I know it was the Jews.
I was literally there that day. I was in New York City. When 9/11 happened, I was personally in New York
Hence,
City.
I am
So
an
I'm telling you,
expert.
it was the Jews.
I was watching TV on 9/11 and I saw it happen, and therefore I know it was the Jews.
No, you guys don't get it. No, I was in Pennsylvania. My father was a state trooper. He went to do guard duty for the crash site.
You said
crash
duty.
site of Flight 93, the one that went down, and he knows it was aliens. Okay, you guys can't really refute me on it. It may have been Jewish aliens. Can't be totally sure, but it's clear. I mean, honestly, I have that witness, so obviously I must be right.
Is this confirmed?
It is. It's very much confirmed.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, believe me, I was walking around in New York City right when the planes flew into those buildings. So you
It was
must
Jews that
trust
flew into the
me
buildings.
as an expert. You must trust me. I was right there in New York City. It was
He
the
saw
Jews.
the Jews going right into the buildings. Yes, all of them.
The Jews were walking into the building and exploded it, of course.
so
That's
the
true.
E train is the last stop, is the World Trade Center.
Mhm.
I was second year of college, going to Pace University, right across the street, City Hall. Okay.
We got a whole
And
biography and
I
everything.
was so excited. I loved college, boys.
Therefore, it was.
I
Israel.
love college. Hey, let me connect with everyone in a bunch of other ways. Hey, and I love sports. Oh man, I love basketball. Yeah. Anyway, the Jews did it.
I love cars. Anyway, it was the
Anyway,
Jews.
and that's when when I realized I'm the greatest living authority on 9/11. And then I
cried.
and then I realized it was the Jews.
3 days
So when 9/11 happened, I was very shocked. Therefore, it was the Jews.
Yes.
after I graduated. I should have
Hey, AP. Remember how people back when you were back in your atheist days, they used to you dumb atheists used to mock stuff and you'd say, I don't get this, therefore God. We should start. Has anyone started with blah blah blah, therefore Jews?
Should.
We should do that everywhere.
I don't know. Therefore, Jews.
I swear to God, I'm an idiot. Now that I look back, I should have went for a doctor. I didn't
Yes, you are.
want to leave college. Not very Islamic, my behavior in college, but it's a part rite of passage.
Oh my goodness, get to your freaking point. The Jews did it.
But I was there that day. I witnessed the tragedies. The doors open. People are screaming, yelling. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I got excited like an idiot,
So therefore, the Jews did it.
you know,
Yes.
because human beings, We're a very creative species.
Mhm.
When we see danger, like, hey, Billy, let's go check that fire out.
Yeah.
Where animals will they see fire, they run the.
Is this guy always like this?
Yeah. This,
Yes, this is this is what happened in my debate with him. I had to start writing stuff.
Something and make a point, and you're talking about his life.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Dude.
He's the sort of guy, we used to say, he's the sort of guy you ask him what time it is and he starts telling you how to build a watch.
Dude, I debated him. This is what happened. I had to start taking notes on what he was saying because he just went on these tangents and like down like 8 different rabbit trails. So I'm
Well,
like taking notes. Okay, he said this stupid thing. I got to respond to it. Oh, he said this stupid thing. I got to respond to it. Oh, he said this. I couldn't even keep up with trying to write everything down he was saying that was just wrong. And then finally I had my turn to go and I had to spend like 3 minutes just debunking all of that. So yeah, this is what he does.
Well, you know, Mike, back when I was 7, someone took me fishing for the first time.
Hey, now that you mentioned fishing, so there was this one time, I love sandwiches, and but when I was young,
Speaking of
Like a
languages,
fish sandwich?
speaking of languages, you ever heard this? You ever heard the language Chinese? Anyway, this makes me remember the first time I was in a Chinese restaurant. Anyway,
Hey, hold on,
walked in there.
And you had a fortune cookies in there though. I love fortune. I always
Speaking of
believed in
fortune.
fortune. Yes, fortune.
Speaking of fortune,
you know what
Good
fortune reminds me of? Cars. I love vehicles. So when I was
True.
little,
Fortune 500. Yes.
I remember the first time. Speaking of vehicles, I remember the first time I saw one of those dumb cyber trucks, and I was like, "That thing looks like a toaster oven had a child with my laptop."
Yeah. And you know who made those trucks? It was clearly the Jews. So it just brings it all back to the Jews.
Oh yeah.
The other way, right?
Right.
Heedlessness is what we are. So I remember getting excited for 1 second, thinking maybe there's a brawl or something. I didn't know the building.
Shut up, man. Dude, this is why I hate small.
Hey, Pete, if you want to do something fun, take. This is the only time I've seen this guy. I may have seen a clip or two, but I didn't even remember what he looks like. I didn't know who was who. I mean, I must have clicked on some clip from IP back in the day because I remember something about Beck Lover. But dude, what you should do is take any of his videos where he's being interviewed and cut out all the parts that are not relevant to some topic. And this 2 hour and 5 minute would be like 6 minutes, just the stuff where he's making an actual point and not going on tangents.
The time I had a girlfriend, I crossed over the Brooklyn Bridge. I call it
Now he's talking about his freaking
And now,
girlfriend.
here's what I call the Brooklyn Bridge.
that way. Made it back home, brother.
Yeah.
Like I witnessed that in real life. I saw those buildings crumble right in front of my eyes.
Mhm.
And like every other American, I cried that day too.
Yeah, it was a scary time. It's like, well, that turned like
And now, what did that have to do with the?
What was the point of any of that?
This is Beck Lover, man. I'm
He
telling
didn't
you.
even, he forgot what he was
Listen.
arguing. He forgot where he was going and forgot to say it was the Jews.
He started by saying, "I don't trust the narrative," and then he went on a tangent
And said I cried.
of being a little child, then of seeing seeing the terrorist attack, to his girlfriend, to some random stuff, to college, and then say I cried. Okay, we're still waiting for the point that you never made.
like Muslims into boogeyman, but it turns out they attacked the towers because of our allegiance with Israel, because the American government's been funding Israel, and Israel's been taking that money, those weapons, killing Arabs and Muslims. That's why it happened. But that's not what they told us when it happened.
To me, all I know is this, and this is all I'll say.
So, I read Bin Laden's a letter to America. I don't actually really remember the full contents of it, but he did actually say that it is also about Palestine, but that was not the main thing there. It was about multiple different things.
Exactly.
And something more important is Westerners who read that, it became popular on TikTok. Well, Bin Laden, it turns out he was just mad at Americans oppressing people. They don't understand the relevance of what he said in Islam because it's a completely different reason. In Islam, you have Muslim scholars. You don't get this from just reading the Quran or anything, but you have, so I point out popular video from a long time ago, but that the topic, the issue did not come from me thinking about it. This is from Muslim sources. Matter of fact, in the English translation of Sahih al-Bukhari, at the very end, they have an essay on the stages of jihad. They used to include it as an essay at the end of the Hilali Khan translation of the Quran, which they would give out to Hajj pilgrims and so on. They had these stages of jihad and so on. Now then they removed it because people started catching on. You don't want to give people you don't want to give people your playbook. But anyway, you have the stages of jihad. You have, if Muslims are too weak to fight or to win a confrontation, you're supposed to, you could call it stealth jihad or something like that, but you're not supposed to fight. You're supposed to pretend to be peaceful, even though you're eventually planning to subjugate them. Then as the Muslim community becomes stronger, it transitions to defensive jihad. You can fight, but you don't start the fight. You only fight defensively. Someone else has to do something. Now that might just be criticizing Islam or fighting Muslims. You start it, but it's a response. Someone else has to do something for you to fight them. Later on, when Muslims are the most powerful force, then it changes to offensive jihad when you actively subjugate people and turn everyone into second-class citizens and so on. Now, here's the thing. You have lots of Muslims and Muslim scholars that believe a caliph is required to wage offensive jihad. You cannot wage offensive jihad without the caliph to command it. Well, they lost their caliphate. They don't have a command to wage offensive jihad. So you have Muslim scholars who believe that offensive jihad cannot be waged today. You cannot go out and attack in an attempt to subjugate other people. It has to be defensive. That's the only time you're allowed to wage jihad. So from that perspective, when Osama bin Laden is saying, hey, I'm attacking you because of this, and this, what he's saying is he's speaking to the Muslim scholars. Hey, don't you say, this isn't offensive jihad. I don't think I'm some caliphate here. I don't think this is defensive. I'm allowed to do this. Because he would be condemned if he was actually waging offensive jihad, trying to take down the United States of America to make it Islamic and so on. He would get in trouble for that in the minds of certain Muslim scholars. So you have to explain everything in terms of defensive jihad. That's what he does. And so it's, oh yeah, we're just defending ourselves. That's why we're blowing up, skyscrapers and stuff like that and slaughtering people, flying planes and buildings. That's why we're doing it. It's just defense. It's just defense. And then you've got all these, 12-year-olds on TikTok. Oh my goodness, they're just trying to defend themselves. He's trying to justify a form of jihad.
Put my screen up, AP. I'll show the reference as well.
Screen's up.
There you go. Yeah, so this is an Ibn Kathir's commentary. He says, so do not lose heart and beg for peace while you are superior, meaning in the condition of your superiority over your enemy. If, on the other hand, the disbelievers are considered more powerful and numerous than the Muslims, then the Imam may decide to hold a treaty if he judges that it entails a benefit for the Muslims. So you can see if you're powerful, you get down there and you just subjugate them. If you're not, then you start setting up treaties. And so, you also have this in Ibn Kathir's commentary that Abu ad-Darda said, we smile in the face of some people, although in our hearts we curse them. So, I mean, there's a good reason for us to be skeptical of a lot of these claims from Muslims because they're told to do these kinds of things, curse, be very nice, but then they were cursed in their hearts. And if we're superior, then they make treaties, they operate under us. But if they have the superiority, then they go on the offensive. And this is what we saw during the days of the Ottoman Empire. When the Ottoman Empire started to collapse, then we saw a shift in the motives and how they started changing things. And so, this is,
what's
history
funny?
tells a different story.
What just happened to me, what you just said happened to my audio was just happening to your audio, and I have no idea why.
Pretty lame. It's pretty lame audio.
You were getting lower and higher, fading out, and then.
Well, let me move this closer then. How about that? Is that better?
How about that? Yes.
How about that?
Anyway.
Okay, cool.
All right.
There's all types of theories. Sonny, everyone talks about it, right?
Yeah. It's like 4 good theories out there.
When it collapsed, I myself, as a Muslim, I'm like, go to Afghanistan, not thinking, not using logic. Remember, in the Albanians where I come from, I was born here, but in our terminology, we have an expression: a swollen heart will make you lose your head. Right? And that moment of rage or sad, something horrible, and you rush, you could lose your head because of it, right?
Right.
So when that whole thing happened,
Cool story, bro. So, is Islam a violent?
Christianity doesn't teach to kill other people.
So
Even
Christianity can flourish in
Albanian.
religion teaches to kill other people.
Let's have a few super chats here before we continue. Normal man, the Hodge twins are becoming the Hodge twins. They already.
You stole my line.
Jay Pendragon says, "I don't need a Jew to tell me what the Quran calls me." Yeah, you don't need anybody to point it out. The Quran already tells you what you are. apparently. John West, concerning Dawa versus David, my money is on David. He doesn't even need a sling, but there will be a rock involved, perhaps in the Zoot sense. Logic sent
Hey,
messages.
I just got the idea to grab a bunch of Arabic Qurans, since they say they're going to offer me at debate con, and I'll like have these standing around me at the table. Like I'll put a bunch of these like as a little shield around the table, and that way they won't be able to do anything to me without getting blood all over the Quran. In your face, jihadis.
And just so everyone in the chat is aware who's been concerned, I did let James of Modern Day Debate know he is going to let the Houston police known about these threats. So there should be pretty tight security there, just so everyone is aware. Not taking any chances.
Nah, man. I said it before. I said it again. If you're walking through the woods and you see me fighting a bear, don't help me. Help the bear.
Logic Semis has been trying to reach you both on X, etc. My wife has terminal cancer. I could use an assist. We can pray for you. I don't know what else we can do for you.
Yeah, we'll pray.
David can probably do something for you. Get in touch with David.
He can beat up bears. He can beat up cancer.
John
Cancer
1
sucks,
5
man.
Hebrews 1:8 says, not a betting man, but my money is on them being on the payroll of the same people funding Tucker. Plausible. Abu Baker Al Paftadi, AP and Dawood, who is the best Batman? West and Keaton. I have actually never watched a single Batman movie.
No,
Christian
not,
Bale.
Not West. It's between Keaton and Christian Bale. And there's a reason for that. Batman in the comics is he's a genius, but he's also super tough, best hand-to-hand fighter in the world, but he's supposed to be a little off his rocker. He's a little mental. He goes around dressed as a bat because his parents got slaughtered in front of him when he was a kid. He's a little messed up. Michael Keaton can pull that off. He can play really smart guy who's a little off his rocker. Christian Bale seems a little off his rocker.
This was like the
Ben
least-
Affleck didn't. Val Kilmer didn't. George Clooney didn't. Adam West did. None of those guys seemed off their rocker. Then you had that new guy. Then you had that new guy, that the guy from the little kids movie, and he's I actually liked it. It was a good story, but he's a little like too far. He's a little too much off his rocker, to where he seemed kind of dopey.
I like the twist on. I thought he did.
I didn't. No, I thought it was awesome. I'm just going from the perspective of the comments. Two guys that I think are best.
They kind of made him.
Let's talk about Lord of the Rings. Let's talk about Harry Potter. Let's talk about all kinds of other things.
Don't get me started about Lord of the Rings. I'll go for an hour.
This was like the least important question I've seen in my entire life.
I'm saying, okay, that was just my first point.
Camden, glad Crowder never sold out. He calls Islam out like once a week or more. LOL. He calls Momo a pedo like once a month.
Based.
Soon, boys.
Oh yeah, we gotta get him onto the Zoot. He needs to know about that story.
Daryush made a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Paul suggestion during debate challenges X Spaces. There is huge amount of Muslims on it, and it gets more listeners than videos on the tube.
I don't even know what that is. X Spaces.
You mean
he's so
X,
old.
Twitter.
Oh,
Spaces.
you're so old.
The thing with Twitter,
X.
is that you can't really
Twitter Spaces.
I mean, you will have people watching, but you can't really trust the number of people that it shows you of how many people that have actually listened. X always like twisted numbers for everything.
Yeah, YouTube is still king.
For example, it will tell you that 2,000 people are watching when you have a live stream there. But what it actually is that 2,000 people tuned in at some point.
It also includes, if you're just scrolling and you see one of them, it will include that as well, like as a viewer.
Which is ridiculous. You think, whoa, there are 2,000 people watching. It's actually just like 50 people sitting there. GV, those leftist twins said Derek Chauvin was at fault for George Floyd saying he was dying when he wasn't. They've been wolves in sheep's clothing for 5 years. Well, to be fair, and I'm sure that you will attack me and hate me for this, because people tend to pick sides when they should not pick sides. He was actually partly at fault. So.
I would say he's definitely at fault. The question, but the question on most people's minds is, did he cause the death, or was it the drugs in the system and stuff like that? Well, I think you can believe both. You can believe that George Floyd died as a result of the drugs in his system, and that Derek Chauvin did things he's not supposed to do as a police officer and should be condemned for that. But that's not something you would convict him of murder for. That's something you would like punish him
if somebody has asthma, and you caused through your actions to.
This is the least
severely-
important thing in the world, and you wouldn't even let us respond to Batman. And now you're talking about Derek Chauvin for 3 hours.
And you're
like,
causing-
no police officer has ever done anything wrong.
And you're causing through your actions to exacerbate the situation, and he dies because of his asthma condition, and because of you, then you have killed him. It's quite that easy, you know. Similar thing with, even if it's drugs, even if it's whatever it is, that doesn't mean that the victim was a good guy.
Mhm.
He wasn't, but you can't deny what happened. Leo Wolf the Red, Islam was the violent midwife of Europe. That's the influence it had on the West. Powerful. In a manner not dissimilar to the manner in which the men of Al-Zut proceeded. Fifth Tiger Hogan. Daniel Pikachu just reported to the FBI the state of Texas and Cali. I wonder how fast Dr. Maloink will squeal on his buddies to feds. I'm pretty sure terroristic threats are big boy felonies. FAFO Malik these nuts. What?
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to let the local police know in Houston about any
Local
potential
police are
threats.
local.
So
Powerful.
I don't call cops. People call them on me.
What do he do that police aren't supposed to do in that situation? In a very life-threatening way.
You're not
press-
supposed to be kneeling on someone's
on
neck and
somebody's-
so on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
His action was clearly objectively wrong, and that's also what was ruled in court, despite some people falsely claiming that the court ruled otherwise or court showed otherwise. White Muslims should be proud that one of their great white kings, Alexander, was also a Muslim who went to the place where the sun set in a muddy pool.
Yep.
Paul Andrew Tate was on PBT to apologize for the HH song to Adam Jewish as well. Day later, he tweeted the Jews are the enemy. It seems Adam didn't see it. I saw that Andrew Tate went on there and was like, I was actually going to make a live stream about that because these guys are like the softest wannabe
You said
criminals there are, man. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. So Andrew Tate is on video together with Sneeko and the others, like celebrating and singing along and enjoying the song. And then next day he goes on the show and says, "Well, you know, I find that cringe, and it was Sneeko who turned that on. Everybody's seen it. It was Sneeko."
Yo. No, seriously. I mean, think about what that would mean. It would mean that he doesn't like the song and doesn't like the message and so on, and he just went along with Sneeko and these other dorks around him, which would mean he's just like very susceptible to peer pressure, and he just goes along with whoever he's around and so on. And then once the group is gone, then it's, oh my goodness, I can't believe I just did that. How are you going to be like the top G, man? How are you going to be the top G when, oh no, Sneeko's doing it, I'll do it to be cool. Oh, Sneeko and Nick Fuentes are doing, and Myron, I got to do what they're doing because that's cool apparently. And then they're gone, and oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. You're the top G, man. You're the top G. That makes you a follower. By definition, that makes you a follower, not a leader.
And then
Top G is a snitch. And
You're a
she's a snitch, gives into peer pressure. That's top G behavior.
He also said that this whole idea of Jews being behind everything is a loser thing to do, and that people do it because they have nothing else to do and they want to blame somebody for their failures, so they end up blaming the Jews. And unfortunately, some people pointed it out and was like, "Whoa, look, Andrew Tate is speaking the truth." I'm sorry, man. No matter what he says, don't buy it. Don't take Andrew Tate and make him a hero in any case. Okay.
Yeah.
The guy is a criminal. He's a sex trafficker. He's a rapist. He is an opportunist. He's a bastard. And he will flip-flop on these things whenever he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
He's the top flip-flopper.
Powerful. Let's see. What else? Melissa Doherty woke right show. What? Melissa's Doherty woke right show will explain what's happening on Wrighton.
Oh, yeah, she must be doing an episode on that.
Oh, cool.
She's pretty
No,
cool.
she's cool.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
usually
she's cool.
she's
I know
usually
she's
spot
cool.
on things.
I know she.
Yeah, I had her on
attacking
my
her.
channel one time. We reviewed a Muslim promoting polygamy. It was fun.
Sid Dave, AP, David Wood, can you please make a video debunking the claim that Dhul-Qarnayn is Cyrus? This is their new propaganda. Even Cyrus was a pagan who worshipped agriculture. God Marduk as per Cyrus' cylinder.
What?
Well, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's new propaganda. I mean, the claim has been around. I think it's there were even Islamic scholars in history who said that it might be Alexander or Cyrus, but the idea that it is Cyrus was always taken as significantly less likely, whereas the early idea was very clear that it is Alexander the Great.
If
And
it's-
some people
It's Cyrus. Who cares? Who cares if it's Cyrus? That's still bad for them. Cyrus
Yeah.
still doesn't fit the description. I mean, it's weird anyway.
Yeah. So guys, if you read the description, it's straight out of the Alexander romance. It's straight out of the Alexander romance. The story of him, him traveling here and traveling there and all this stuff, straight out of the Alexander romance. He's called the Dul Qarnayn, means the man of two horns and so on. And you've got the coins and stuff where Alexander had the two horns on, and that's because when he went to Egypt, he became like the avatar of the god Ammon or whatever with the two horns, and that's what signified it and so on. And so it's obviously Alexander the Great, but you eventually had Muslim scholars who were like, any idiot knows Alexander the Great was a total pagan, so it can't be him. And then you're stuck trying to say it's someone else. But I mean, think about this. In the Quran, it's supposedly people are aware of this guy who traveled so far east, and then he traveled all the way to the west, and then he builds this huge wall between two mountains that are holding back the zombie hordes of Gog and Magog and so on. There are billions of them there just waiting to break out and so on. And it's like, okay, who fits this description here? No, well, really no one, but I mean, it's got to be some really, really big, important person to do all this stuff. The biggest person back then was Alexander the Great.
I've been meaning to make a video on that, saying like, I'll take my shahada if you can find me this giant gate that's holding back Gog and Magog. Like, where is it? Because didn't Dean Responds in your debate with him, AP, actually argue, well, how do we know that we haven't found it? Like, it could be here, it could be there. Like, he even tried to imply that maybe it could still be out there or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to go back and look.
Keep in mind, there are supposedly billions with a B of these people who can't speak trapped behind this wall all this time. They're trapped there. Guess what? I have to say, if there were a wall somewhere in the world holding back billions of people who are just trying to break forth, I mean, seriously, what are these people eating? I mean, to feed, they would also need tons of farmland and so on behind that wall, right? Livestock, they've got to need a lot of stuff to feed these billions of people. So yes, I think we could say there is no such place. And that's why you had like Yasser Qadi and stuff say that he thinks it's like zombies or something like that. Something completely different. They're going to come out of the ground or something, because we know there's not some giant wall somewhere with all these billions of people. You could say that in the 7th century. Hey, did you know somewhere there's Alexander, he built this huge wall to keep back these people? They wouldn't know any better, but now we know.
Plus, Muhammad also said here, was narrated by Zainab bin Jahsh, that the Prophet Muhammad once came to her in a state of fear and said, "None has the right to be worshipped but Allah. Woe unto the Arabs from a danger that has come near. An opening has been made into the wall of Gog and Magog like this," making a circle with his thumb and index finger.
So he made a circle like this, but in the Arabic it actually says, and the hole has been made like this, and showed his butthole. But they translate it differently. They translate it to cover that up.
So he says that he's in panic. He comes in panic to her and says, "Woe unto the Arabs from a danger that has come near. An opening has been made in the wall like this." And so they are about to come out. It says, "O Allah's messenger, shall we be destroyed even though there are pious persons among us?" He said, "Yes, when the evil person will increase." Well, what a wonderful thing to say. So he says that the wall is there holding them back, and they just made a hole like this in the wall, almost as big as his bottle, and they are about to come and kill everybody. All right, where are they?
Well, fortunately, I said, "Oh, they're the hole like my butthole there in the wall. They're going to break out. Who can do something about this?" And so I contacted the Al-Zut, and I said, "Hey, you guys are the best at plugging this hole, so can you go?" And they've been there forever, holding back the hordes of Gog and Magog.
Dude, this is a Christian channel.
I'm going to throw up, man.
Stop talking about this messed up thing, man. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Charlie Digital, I can't believe what they have become. I started watching them in 2013. They have been led down a foolish path. The conservative movement after COVID has been infiltrated by bad actors that now have sway. They are now the new left. No, don't blame it on the left. Don't blame it on the left. This is conservatives. I'm sorry, these guys are conservatives. Don't blame it on somebody else. These are part of the conservative camp. And they are doing the very same thing that we have always disliked and criticized the left for. Don't do the whole thing. I mean, don't blame it on somebody else. Unfortunately, that is the case. Hey, I wasn't aware of this, but people are pointing it out. God Logic Avery is about to have a debate in about
Oh yeah.
50 minutes with Sheikh Uthman. Sheikh
Yep.
Uthman apparently invited him to the mosque to have a live debate with him. So
Based.
God Logic Avery is going to join him in about 45 to 50 minutes for a debate. And of course, I want to end this live stream and move over there when it starts, which is why I have queued this live stream after we are done with our live stream, and we'll also direct everyone there. So
Listen,
that's going to be
listen.
in 50
I really hope it happens, but given everything Uthman has done, I'm skeptical anything is going to happen. My guess is that God Logic will show up, and there's going to be like 80 Dawa guys there that are just going to shout God Logic down, and there's not even going to be like a real debate. It's going to just be a mess. It's probably going to be absolute chaos.
Powerful. No, AP, you're wrong. All of these people oppose Trump's admin, and all of them are allied with leftists and Muslims. They're obviously not in the same camp. I'm sorry, but that doesn't make them left. It makes them a new sick brand of the conservative camp. That's what it is.
It's the woke right.
Yeah. In order to be left, they would have to follow leftist politics, and they don't.
Islam doesn't teach us.
Shout out
teach to kill other
Leonardo.
people.
She's Catholic. She's Albanian.
Christianity doesn't teach to kill other people.
So
Even Judaism.
Christianity can flourish.
No religion.
How many? That's correct.
Yeah.
There was, I think, 1 out of 10. I can't remember how many. There was Albanians, but they were Christian. Because Albanians
they
are
were
mixed people,
Christians,
Christian,
yeah.
Muslim.
Right.
No religion teaches to kill other people. Islam. doesn't-
Guys, what did we not quote Surah 9 verse 111, which defines, it literally defines, it gives a definition of what a Muslim is, not according to me, according to the Quran. And it says it's those who slay and are slain. They kill until they get killed. It defines, no religion teaches to kill other people.
Listen, there's a different interpretations of that. Like it says slay. Maybe they meant slay, like Muhammad on the Mighty.
Oh yeah,
Nails.
slay, slay queen.
Queen. Yes.
Different interpretation. Just saying.
So anyone who actually says that no religion teaches to kill others is just retarded. I'm sorry.
She's Albanian.
Christianity doesn't teach to kill other people.
So
Even Judaism.
Christianity can flourish in Muslim countries.
Of course.
Oh yeah, it does so well.
No.
Yeah,
What are you
it's
talking
flourishing-
about?
It's flourishing a lot right now, man. It's flourishing a lot right now. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. World Watch List 2026. This is Open Doors World Watch List 2026. It documents. Also, by the way, if you go into the statistics and
Not in the Zut
look at each country, it actually goes incident by incident by incident by incident. It documents every single act of persecution. It documents where Christians are persecuted. World Watch List 2026. Here is the data. Here is where in the world Christians are persecuted. What does this map tell you?
Tells me that Islam is the greatest religion. I don't know what you're talking about. This is just correlation. This you see, AP, when you bring this up to Muslims, they correctly point out this is because influence from the West. Western occupation goes in and they hire certain radical groups to do persecution because it's all part of the CIA and Mossad's plan. You see, this is obviously
In fact,
the cause of the Jews.
Here's the ranking. The 50 countries where Christians are most persecuted. Number 1, North Korea. Persecution source, communist and post-communist oppression. 2, Somalia, Islam. 3, Yemen, Islam. 4, Sudan, Islam. Eritrea, dictatorial paranoia. 6, dictatorial paranoia, but also Islam. Nigeria, Islam. Pakistan, Islam.
Eritrea.
Libya, Islam. Iran, Islam. Afghanistan, Islam. India is mixed, honestly. Saudi Arabia, Islam. Myanmar, religious nationalism. Mali, Islam.
It's the Buddhist.
China, communism. Iraq, Islam. Maldives, Islam. Algeria, Islam. Mauritania, Islam. Central African Republic, Islam. Morocco, Islam. Cuba, dictatorial paranoia. Uzbekistan, dictatorial, also Islam.
And well,
Nigeria,
Cuba's communist. Cuba is a communist nation. They're not pro-Christianity. They may allow it, but I mean the way the system.
No, that's just like the religious majority of the country.
I see.
So you have a religious
true.
majority, but you have communist dictators.
the main religion here. So
Hey,
That's why they want
continue.
Marco Rubio to come and liberate them.
Let's continue. Laos, communist propaganda and the communist oppression. Congo, Islam. Mexico, organized corruption and crime. Tunisia, Islam. Nicaragua, dictatorial paranoia. Bangladesh, dictatorial paranoia, but also Islam. Bhutan, religious nationalism. Turkmenistan, dictatorial paranoia, but also Islam. Ethiopia, Christian denominational protectionism, but also Islam. Cameroon, Islam. Oman, Islam. Mozambique, Islam. Kyrgyzstan, Islam. Turkey, Islam. Egypt, Islam. Comoros, Islam. Qatar, Islam. Kazakhstan, dictatorial paranoia and Islam. Nepal, dictatorial paranoia. Colombia, organized corruption. Chad, Islam. Jordan, Islam. Brunei, Islam. So clearly, Christianity is flourishing in Muslim countries. Fantastic.
here, put my slides up when you get a minute. I'll show you some more stuff. I got some even better stuff for you here. Yeah, so this studies I covered in a video I did in November called "Why Islam Will Destroy Everything." I highly recommend you go watch that for even more. But this is a study from Jonathan Fox. He says that Islamic majority groups engage in more than double the average level of religious discrimination as non-Islamic groups, and nearly 5 times the average level of Christian majority groups. Okay, so it pointed out, yeah, we're seeing a ton of this even after controlling for variables. Another study by Grimm and Finke, they point persecution of more than 1,000 persons is present in 40% of Muslim majority countries compared to just 3.9% of Christian majority countries. And if you read their book, The Price of Freedom Denied, they say, yeah, this is something that is motivated by Islam. So you cannot just dismiss it as something that comes later. So yeah, this is a good. Here's another one. For example, here's another study that Fox put out with some other authors. He says, in Azerbaijan, the average minority discrimination score for Christians is 12, while for Sunni Muslim it is 3. In Iran, the level of discrimination is 28, while for Sunni Muslim it is 1. So we're seeing higher. You can see the chart down here. So for example, you're getting far more levels of discrimination for Christians than you're going to get for like Sunni Muslims, as well as heterodox groups. So yeah, that's Islam for you.
By the way, I have to point out one thing here, which is, of course, you will have the trend here once again of people talking about Israel on this Hodge Twins podcast, because that's the dumb thing to do nowadays. I just want to point out one thing. Which country is not on the list of countries where Christians are the most persecuted?
Antarctica.
Israel is not on the list.
We know. We know where you were going because we know who pays you.
In fact,
And the
you have-
Hodge twins know who pays you.
you have this map here, and you have multiple countries, almost every country in the region marked as a country where Christianity or where Christians are persecuted, highly persecuted. Israel is not among them.
That's because the Jews made this map.
It's a Jewish map. This map. I know. I saw this map at its bar mitzvah.
Okay, there was some. It depends how you look at the history. It's not black and white. I always say, let's go back to the inception. Let's go back to what did the prophet teach us.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right, let's look at what the prophet taught us.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Give us some good stuff.
Let's look at what the prophet taught us. The book of faith. It has been narrated on the authority of Abdullah ibn Umar that the messenger of Allah said, I have been commanded to fight against the people till they testify that there is no God but Allah, that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and they establish prayer and pay zakat, and if they do it, their blood and property are guaranteed protection on my behalf, except when justified by law, and their affairs rest with Allah. This is what Muhammad taught. Muhammad himself said that he has been sent to fight the people and kill them until they testify that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. There you go. He also taught us to execute the apostates. He also taught to take sex slaves. He even taught temporary marriage, aka prostitution, during war times for his dear soldiers. And he never actually abolished it later on, for any case. He also married and raped a little child.
True.
There you go. And so on and so forth. But go on, man. Go on, son.
First and foremost, when the Muslims first came out, right, they declared their faith. They were living amongst the pagan Arabs, okay? His own tribesmen, his own family was trying to kill him. For 11 years, the Muslims did nothing as they grew in following, right? They did nothing. All the passages you read in the Holy Quran, which most people have never read, Sonny can attest, he's a
David, did the Muslims do nothing to the pagans until the first incident of war?
No, they kept mocking and ridiculing their gods and goddesses, and the pagans didn't want to retaliate against mocking their gods and goddesses because they didn't want to mock Allah in return because they believed in Allah because he's a pagan god. But then Muhammad eventually promised to slaughter them. He said it outside the Kaaba. He said, "Truly, I bring you slaughter."
I got the hadith up if you want to show it. Yep.
That's when they flipped out.
Yep. This is the thing, is he was saying this before he left from Medina. He was plotting, according to Ibn Hisham and Ibn Ishaq, to subjugate the Arabs and the Persians as well. And of course, he said he's going to bring slaughter to the Meccans. So yeah,
I have brought slaughter to you.
And I have to.
And then they said, "Okay, we can't have this anymore."
And here's something that is very important. So he said 11 years, actually about 12. But think about this. He will complain that the Muslims were persecuted. These poor Muslims, they were doing nothing. And they were eventually driven out. Okay. Muhammad was preaching Islam in Mecca and condemning the beliefs of the people of Mecca for over a decade.
Yeah.
And then he left. AP.
Yes.
How long would I last if I were in Mecca today, mocking and ridiculing the beliefs of the people of Mecca today and preaching another religion? Would I last more than a decade?
It would not last more than a minute.
Isn't that interesting? But they were the intolerant ones. They were in the intolerant ones. Muhammad condemned their beliefs for over a decade. And they were super intolerant because Muslims eventually had to leave after Muhammad promised to slaughter them.
The policy is they persecuted Muhammad by letting him preach for 12 years and then kicking him out because he threatened them. Therefore, it shouldn't be a problem that we want to kill you as soon as you say something bad about Islam. Cool, man. Very, very nice attitude.
He's been in the. There's a lot Sonny needs to talk about
2
today.
years now, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot that he can tell you what I thought before and what I actually realized. All the verses they quote on the TV and Fox News. Brother, I'm talking about, even he showed me something which made half of a verse, not even the full verse.
I've never seen a Quran verse quoted on TV, on Fox News.
I've seen a Quran verse quoted on like CNN and other places. Oddly enough, it was the Quran verse, Surah 5, verse 32, which they never, ever quote in its entirety. They say, the Quran says, if anyone kills a man, it's as if he's killed all mankind. And they never, ever quote the entire verse.
So I'm not a TV watcher. I don't watch much TV. In fact, I barely watch any TV. I could just say I don't really watch TV at all. But I don't know of any instance from my own experience from elsewhere that they show Quran verses or bad Quran verses on TV. Is that something that actually happens? Does Fox News actually show like bad Quran verses of terrorism and all that? Unless it is obviously related to a certain incident in which a Quran verse was used to do something. I don't know. Does anybody know? Nobody who watches TV apparently.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Fun. Nice.
Let alone one verse above, one verse below, completely different explanation, right?
Yeah. Show us. Surah
929. Are defensive in nature if you actually read the book.
Liar.
False.
Liar.
False.
Hey, fight those who do not believe. Does that sound defensive or offensive? You're fighting people based on what they believe, not based on them attacking
It's
them.
really defensive. If you do not believe in Allah and Muhammad, then you are attacking them. Therefore, they have the right to defend themselves against your disbelief. What's wrong with you?
When I debated Suleiman at AM Fest, which still isn't up yet, that debate is still not up. I need to text Sean Mike Kelly and see when that's going to come up. But yeah, I brought up Sewer 929, and he's like, "Oh no, the context shows it's defensive." So we started
No,
looking
it
at the
doesn't.
context. He
Yeah.
couldn't find it. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, the context, because they're just trained to scream context, and then you'll find it's defensive. The context of Surah 9, verse 29, it begins in Surah 9, verse 28. That's where it starts, O you who believe, and it continues through verse 33. There is not one single word about Jews and Christians attacking you or doing anything. Every single condemnation, every single justification for fighting Jews and Christians in the entire context is about our basic religious beliefs and practices, most specifically, the things we say. Christians say, the very next verse after fight those who do not believe in Allah, the very next verse says, and the Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah, and the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah. And may Allah destroy them. That's the justification for fighting us. And then have we done anything else? Yes, we take our rabbis and priests as lords because we listen to them instead of Allah's ramblings in the Quran. So everything has to do, and then it's we try to put out the light of Allah with our mouths, with our speech. By saying Jesus is God, we're trying to put out the light of Allah, and then Allah is going to destroy us for that. And then verse 33, how's Allah going to stop us from saying these things? How's he going to silence us? He sent Muhammad. And what's Muhammad going to do? He's going to fight those who do not believe in Allah. And it specifically refers to Jews and Christians. So yeah, not one word about self-defense in there. Muslims of the world who scream, context, show me in the context where this has anything to do with self-defense. And let me put it this way. If you wanted to say, oh, this is really about self-defense, then you're saying Allah is the worst communicator who's ever existed. If I want to say, hey, only fight if people are attacking you, but when I try to say that, it comes out, fight those who do not believe. Okay, I'm just a terrible communicator because now people are going to think you're supposed to fight people based on what they believe and not based on the fact that they're attacking you. And so when you say, oh, what he really means is something completely different from what he says, you're saying you're a better, clearer communicator than Allah, who constantly brags about how clear he is in his commands.
It's also it's funny because there's not even any ambiguity on this. If it simply said fight against the disbelievers or fight against those who don't believe in Allah, you could think, okay, maybe there's some more context to this, but it goes to lengths to describe, to explain who you are supposed to fight. Fight against those who do not believe in Allah or in the last day, and who do not consider unlawful what Allah and His Messenger have made unlawful, and who do not adopt the religion of truth, i.e. Islam, from those who were given the scripture, the people of the book, until they give the jizya. So these are the people that you're supposed to fight as a Muslim. Those who don't believe in Allah and His last day, and do not consider unlawful what Allah and His Messenger have made unlawful, and who do not adopt the religion of truth, i.e. Islam, among the people of the book, Christians and Jews. So, any Jew or Christian who does not convert to Islam ought to be fought by Muslims. That's what this Quran verse says. There is no context to this. There is no defense to this. There is nothing to this. And if you deny this, then you are simply a liar. Just like Backlover. Backlover is a liar. Suleiman Ahmed, as far as we know now, is a liar.
When they use the verse in the Holy Quran on TV and kill the non-believers, I see it all over X.
Yeah, I see that.
They take the little screenshot and they show the sentence. I fucking dare you.
Where?
You
Where?
fucking clowns online. Can I look
Where?
at that camera?
What is he talking about?
Go to the verse and read just the page.
Okay, Backlover. I dare you to come here and debate with me directly.
Come on, Backlover.
Verse 29.
Oh,
I dare you to come and debate with me directly whether the Quran teaches or preaches or commands violence against disbelievers or not. I dare you, and
Triple
I also
dog dare
hold you to your challenge that you will then convert to Christianity and get baptized if we can show it to you.
And
I got an idea.
And AP, just so he's not outnumbered, his little buddy here is welcome to join us too, right?
Sonny boy.
Oh, Sonny will never debate. He always says, I never debate these Islamophobes because they're just so
Sonny boy.
dishonest." Oh.
Sonny boy, we're challenging you, or we're inviting you to. Sonny boy and Backlover, we invite you to join us
Listen,
for a
Backlover is not a coward. He will talk. Sonny definitely is. He will not, and I'm very much disappointed in him. However, I got a better idea. I know Sean Mike Kelly. Backlover is supposed to go back to Vegas sometime in spring. I can let him know. Both of you want to have a conversation with him. You fly into Vegas. You do it in person right there. Boom. There we go.
Oh yeah, he was. He actually asked me too if I want to debate a Muslim apologist. And he said he was going to find something for me. I said, yeah.
He knows
yeah.
Beck Lover. He talks to him, and he knows when Beck comes into Vegas, and he can get something like that set up. That's how I debated Beck. Flew up there to debate
I'll
him.
message Sean Kelly right now and tell him, hey, I also want to debate with Back Lover. I want to debate the Back Lover.
You want me to message him, or you said you're going to message him?
I'll message him.
Do it.
The Scorpion King, Dhul Qarnayn, is to Alexander what Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, is to Abraham Lincoln. Dhul Qarnayn is a comic book Christian version of Alexander.
And remember, guys, that's what Musa Sarantonio, who was actually an Australian convert, who became a propagandist for the Islamic State in Australia and so on, went to prison, and he eventually left Islam. The guy's like one of these people who picks up languages really quick, and he picked up like perfect Arabic and so on. But while he's in prison, he thought it would be good to learn Aramaic, and he read in Aramaic, or maybe it was Syriac. Anyway, he read a different version of the Alexander romance. So these are the legends of Alexander, and he realized the Quran just stole the story, and he left Islam, and he said, the Quran is 7th century Alexander the Great fan fiction. He said he realized it's fan fiction. And so the dude left Islam after actually doing the research and realizing Muhammad stole this story. But guess what? You know what's funny? That's exactly what the unbelievers said over and over again in the Quran. Whenever Muhammad's delivering his revelations, they're going, we've heard this before. We've heard this before. We know this story. We know this story. And so this guy actually goes and reads the story, and oh yeah, they were right. Muhammad's just copying people's stories.
Powerful. The Scorpion King also says, do you think space travel colonies on other planets would force Muslims to really rethink their religion? Like none of their rituals work outside Earth? Probably.
Yeah.
Fox McCloud, only comfort I get with these Muslims in the West is the more they come in contact with Westerners, the higher the AP rate gets through exposure. Yes.
Yeah, the in the book, The Price of Freedom Denied, they noted that the American Muslims are the most liberal because a lot of them come over here and they see the wealth and they want to partake, and they start to liberalize their religion. So it's kind of the opposite of Europe. Europe tends to get more radicals than America gets. The Muslims over here are the most liberal in the entire world, so that's something we are lucky about.
Powerful. Jay Pandragon, could the Quran saying Mary is in the Trinity have something with it saying Allah needs a wife to have a son?
Oh, yes. First off, how could Allah have a wife if he has no cousin?
Mm-hmm. Good point. Yeah, and I pointed this out before that I understand the idea of Muhammad, an illiterate 7th century Arabian caravan robber, hearing Christians talking about Jesus the Son, and hearing Christians talking about the Father, and hearing Christians talk about Mary, the mother of Jesus, and so on, and hearing Christians talking about the Trinity. I understand the idea of Muhammad hearing that. Okay, so you've got the Trinity, but then you've got Allah, and you've got Mary, the mother of Jesus, and you've got Jesus the Son. Oh, that's the Trinity. That's the Trinity. And so, yeah, you had Allah, but you needed a wife to produce Jesus. That makes sense that he would massively misunderstand Christians because he's a dope, right? I don't understand Allah if he were actually the creator of the universe and so on. I wouldn't understand Allah completely getting Christianity wrong and misunderstanding it in that way. Because here's what you'd have to say. Since the author of the Quran is getting Christianity completely wrong, he either is ignorant, so he's as dumb as like Muhammad was, it's as clueless as Muhammad was, and so he's just ignorant, or he does know accurate Christian theology and he's lying about it. So he's ignorant or he's deceptive. Based on what he says, he's ignorant or he's deceptive. Pick one, Muslims. And if I were you, I'd go with deceptive, since he brags about that anyway.
Yeah, so here is one Quran verse, and here is the other Quran verse. Hang on. Here's one Quran verse, chapter 5, verse 116. And beware the day when Allah will say, "Oh, Jesus, son of Mary, did you say to the people, take me and my mother as deities besides Allah? He will say, "Exalted are you. It was not for me to say that to which I have no right. If I had said it, you would have known it. You know that what is within you is myself, and I do not know what is within yourself. Indeed, it is you who is knower of the unseen." It's kind of funny how Jesus in the Quran always sounds like Muhammad. So this is one verse where it refutes the Christians who believe that Jesus and Mary are also gods besides Allah. And this is the other verse, chapter 5, verse 75. The Messiah, son of Mary, was not but a messenger. Messengers have passed on before him, and his mother was a supporter of truth. They both used to eat food.
Oh no, I never thought about that.
How can God eat food? Are you stupid? Look how we make clear the signs to them. Then look how they are deluded.
That
So,
that
the
argument
Quran-
is just as dumb as when Muslims go, "Well, how could God die? How could he die? Why do you believe in a God that dies?" This is just as dumb as that.
I think it's much dumber actually.
Yeah.
Like what is logically wrong with God eating food? Nothing. What is logically what is in any way absurd about the idea of God being human and eating food? There's literally no reason to in any way think preposterous. God eating food? What? Why not? This is just so dumb. But so in two verses here, the Quran clearly attempts to refute the Christian belief that that Jesus and his mother Mary are gods besides the Father. There is no verse in the Quran that ever describes the Holy Spirit as God. So the Muslim understanding, the Quranic understanding, is that Christians believe in the Father, in Jesus, and in Mother Mary. And where did they get this from? From ignorance, stupidity. And to put it into perspective, Muhammad was in an environment where the only Christians he encountered were, Christians in the 7th century. And in the culture in the 7th century, Eastern Christians, Orthodox Christians, or Christians of different heresies and others probably did believe and did have the very same Trinitarian beliefs. But Muhammad comes and is exposed to them also venerating the Virgin Mary, venerating Mother Mary. So he thinks, wait a minute, for they believe in Allah and also in Jesus and also in Mary. Are these people stupid? Are they crazy? This is an impression, I guess, that you could get, but it only shows that you are simply ignorant. If you claim that it is Allah himself who authored this book, then this is actually a clear sign that Allah, or the author of this book, is ignorant and clearly not the Almighty God, clearly not the all-knowing God. This verse here, or these verses here, clearly refute Islam because they expose that some ignorant guy who doesn't understand anything wrote it, who was simply exposed to things and didn't understand anything about them. Because it was Muhammad and his followers who authored this crap. There you go.
Pretty lame book.
Let's continue. Bo Rudder, David, wear your Quran verse turtleneck at Debate Con. It's Debate Con, but yes.
I don't have a turtleneck. Although, I should wear it. It would actually be funny. But L, so that's Liso Elohim. Her husband is Eric, your brother in Christ. So he's the one who's doing the shooting in the Quran shooting in the video I posted earlier.
Good
But
point.
cool couple. They're total like pure balls. Just like they have no concept of being scared or backing down. So
He doesn't have balls. You just
super
said that
cool.
she's his wife.
But Elle was the one who made that Quran shirt for me. I told her what I wanted and stuff like that, but she actually made it, and that's what I wore to Speaker's Corner. in London, but she also just made me like a full body suit. I don't have it yet, but she designed it and had it made. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll show up in a full Quran suit. That would be funny, man. That would be classic.
Powerful, powerful. Paul Rudder. Johanna says, Quran, the holy book that supposedly has come to correct the previous scriptures but keeps abrogating itself.
Yep.
That is true.
It's very important. Very true.
AF Iron says, narrated Abu Bakr, the Prophet, or Zut be upon him, said, women be like Nazca, they have no rights. Nice.
Because they drive in a circle. Get it? There's no.
That's the
That's
dark
funny.
horse.
I had to think about that for like 5 seconds. Like, what's he saying?
Prophet Dawood, are you going to sell the extra holy Qurans from the demolition ranch? It would be a nice addition to my collection.
A bunch of them got burned because I made a quick little tribute video to Salwan Momika because the anniversary of his assassination is coming up on the 29th. So I made this cool video where we had a pile of Qurans there in a little fire pit, and then I grabbed some of this 150 proof, and then I spit fire on all these Qurans and lit them all up. So it was super based. So it's a super cool video. So a bunch of those got burned. However, Thaddeus did keep a bunch of we had one white Quran and we surrounded it by 30 black Qurans. So we said this Muhammad on the night of Al-Zut, and then so I said this is Muhammad at the beginning of the night of Al-Zut, and then Eric shot it with 30 bullets. So there were 30 holes in him, and then I said and like he really blew out the backside, so it looked like anyway. And then I said, this is Muhammad after the night of Al-Zut. But we had all the Al-Zut Quran smoking cigarettes. And so Thaddeus was like, I want to keep those. And I want to keep those and like give them out as rewards or something like that. So Thaddeus has 30 Qurans that appeared as the Zut. And so yeah, I think you could get those from Thaddeus if you wanted one.
Powerful. Where were we? Jonathan Purritt, did y'all see where Avery said alive saying he's debating with Man at 10:30 Eastern time? Y'all gonna react to it on here? Really? He did that? That's crazy, man. Yeah, I did see it. I also queued it here, and we'll also pin the link toward the end of this live stream and encourage everyone to go over and watch that. That's what I shall do, inshallah. I'll direct everyone toward watching God Logic's appearance or supposed expected appearance with the great honorable Muslim Imam Sheikh Uthman ibn Farouk.
Captain Ketchup.
Sheikh Uthman's in some serious trouble, man. I mean, he got schooled by God Logic when God Logic was brand new. And now God Logic has been doing nothing but debating Muslims for years, while Sheikh Uthman runs around and only looks for people who are completely ignorant. So not going to go well for Sheikh Uthman.
Nope.
Powerful. Sketch art therapy. By this logic, it is more valid to say none may enter heaven without approval from Ridvan, the gatekeeper. May them of kafir if they deny Ridvan. This is true. According to Islam, I am actually the gatekeeper of heaven. I tangoed with the Rango, says David. In yesterday's stream with Hatun, there were 3 Silver Mountain Home healthcares in one building. Are Muslims finally accepting the Trinity?
That might be funny to make a little Trinity video out of that. Yeah, it was 3 fraud places all in the same place, and yet it was just one place. So
nice. AF Iron narrated Sauda Muhammad treated me like a sect's object. I wanted sects, he objects. What's wrong with you, man? John West, hang on. Aren't Somalis causing corruption in Islamist land? Yes, they are. Yo-Yo Hana says Quran quotes Talmud. Muslims use it to argue about Rebecca's age. Is there reminiscence of truth? Can it be considered previous scripture? No. You mean the Talmud?
From an Islamic perspective, yes, they would have to consider at least parts of the Talmud as authoritative scripture because the Quran takes the exact same stories. Yeah.
When you bring up that the Quran plagiarizes the Talmud or something from the Talmud, they say, what? Allah revealed truths to people, and that might be part of the truth, and the rabbis might have. Sorry, it's not. It's an actual rabbi who makes that
Mhm.
explanation in the Talmud. It's not somebody else. It's not. It's not. They're not saying this is what God told us. It is a rabbi who actually makes that explanation. That the Quran copies it like directly. So they could come up with the explanation that it is a corrupted scripture, but they probably wouldn't because there is no direct reference in the Quran to it. So. Dylan's Law. I was in third grade on 9/11, and therefore Candace Owens was truly behind 9/11 through Sumerian technology. This sounds very plausible.
No, she does know
I'm-
time travel somehow, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Bellina says, don't know anything about these guys, but why are the Muslims sitting next to a cross necklace? By the way, AP, in thumbnail, you look like a friendly jihadi. I am a friendly jihadi. I should start calling myself friendly jihadi. Are they sitting next to a cross necklace? Oh, they're sitting next to a rosary, man. Wait a minute. I didn't pay
You
attention
see
to it.
the proof.
Mm.
There's a rosary right here. This is funny. Look, they are sitting here while that is hanging up there higher than they are. They have submitted. They have submitted to Christianity. They have submitted to the cross without even knowing it. The cross humiliated them. Look at this, man. Huh. In your face. Day after the PBD podcast, Tate retweeted a Holocaust denial case in Romania after he retweeted a tweet about world Jewry from a groiper. Well, Tate is a rapist and retarded. So, Whimsical Skedaddler says, AP, there is a metalcore band out of Tel Aviv named her last site. Look up their song Hope. I shall make a note of this. The AI 2000 says, isn't Andrew Tate backtracking a good sign? It shows things are changing. I don't know. I don't trust it a single bit. I am Belina says Sheikh Utran invited God Logic to the mosque to debate him. Do you guys think this is fake news or will it actually happen? Make your predictions, prophets. I will say that it will actually happen this time because Sheikh Uthman is probably feels severely humiliated, so he has probably something prepared for Avery to arrive there. But then I cannot say that it's actually going to result in a proper debate.
It will not be a proper debate, no matter what happens. I highly doubt that. It's going to be a giant shouting match. It could be a bunch of people there, or he's going to run or pull some.
Yeah, guaranteed. If it's going to happen, Sheikh Uthman's got something up his sleeve. 100% chance. He's terrified of God Logic, and rightfully so. But Avery has it scheduled on his channel. Something seems weird because it's not on One Message Foundation. It seems like if he actually had a debate with Avery, he would want the views too. So something's off, but we'll know soon enough.
Something suspicious, yeah.
Powerful. Noel 2174. Gog and Magog was probably Mo just describing his constipation after the El Zut. It's about to break through any second now. That is true. That makes sense. It's a plausible explanation.
Yeah, the El Zut are about to break through the hole.
That's why he was like completely out of breath. He was like, the Gog and Magog, they just made such a big hole.
Oh, yeah. It's actually funny when we had those Qurans and we had the white Quran and that's Muhammad and then it ends up with a bunch of holes in it and stuff like this. But Thaddeus attached this string to it and he starts pulling it over to behind the Diddy line. And so I'm sitting there commentating and I go, oh, look at him. He can't even walk. He's crawling along the ground. This is wild stuff. It was a dumb idea, but it is pretty funny with a bunch of Qurans smoking cigarettes after.
And if you guys want sophisticated videos, go to my channel.
Yeah, there's different strokes for different folks. Not in the Zoot sense, but different strokes for different folks, man.
Is there anything in Islam, is there anything in that Islam has done in its history that Muslims consider evil and demanding repentance or reform even now? Muslims don't take accountability.
I mean, like, they were mad about the satanic verses happening, so they pretend that didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something like that.
Watch it and then just fix something and then deny it ever happened. That's it. Kit Kat David Wood's #1 fan says, hey, I thought you were my #1 fan. What's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. Floyd died as a result of a drug overdose. No one forced him to take drugs. That was his choice. Derek did do bad things, but it wasn't first degree. Yeah, sure. But still, he contributed to the cause of death and thereby technically caused the death. Grumpy Granny. David, seriously, thank you for protecting women.
I will fight to the death and am completely willing to die to protect women from the ones who want to do horrible things to them.
Powerful. Gigi Rata. How did DC cause GF to die? Partial asphyxiation of one side carotid or and have noticed GF in overdose. Tried to walk him around until help come. Yes. Your Mr. Dirty says, I have brought laughter. I have brought laughter. I have brought slaughter. See, it's a typo. Mohammed brought laughter, not
Yeah.
slaughter.
Laughter, not
Laughter.
slaughter. Yeah, I used to say
Laughter,
that. I used to say.
See, I got
Isla-
completely
Isla-
confused. This can easily happen.
Yeah, I used to say Islam, putting the laughter in slaughter. I used to say something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Look, it sounds like I have brought laughter. See? It's a typo. Mohammed brought laughter, not slaughter. You could confuse the pronunciation. You could confuse anything. Stop blaming Muhammad. Mercies Anu says, do you think that the second half of Revelation 12, where it describes Satan waging war on the woman and her offspring, is describing the rise of Islam?
No idea. Hey, why are you talking without your mic on?
Sorry. So here's the thing about you got to understand
should
about this is like the way the Jews looked at prophecy and time is not the way we look at it. They saw time as more cyclical. There's going to be repeating cycles. So like you'll see themes in Daniel, then the author of Revelation, John, is going to repeat some of those because they looked at these sort of these. God is creating a timeline where there's going to be repeating things happening. So it could be something like that. You could see these patterns repeating. So like, for example, I've read some scholars that will say like, you have Daniel talking about what's happening with Antiochus Epiphanes IV, and then it happens again with Vespasian and Titus around 70 AD. So you have repeating cycles. So you could have that. But that doesn't mean that would be the only thing it's about. It's about many, many things if you're going to take that view. But then it's also going to get kind of speculative because we're getting into prophecy. And prophecy is speculative because prophecy is vague. It's kind of one of those things you can really only fully understand it until after the events happen because that's just the way a lot of these prophetic books unfold.
Sid Dave, did Western Christians ever have a concept of Jahiliyyah, like hating their own pre-Christian cultures? Most Westerners seem to have pride, even nostalgia, and see pre-Christian culture as also the West. I mean, you could argue about this. You could say that in Christian history, the pre-Christian state was generally viewed in a negative light. But that said, it is, of course, part of the pop culture as well to romanticize the pre-Christian cultures, the Roman culture and others.
It's very much a human thing to romanticize past cultures, past civilizations, and say, well, they were better, they were superior. This comes from the Greeks and the Romans look back on certain ages as being much better. Then when you get into like the towards the end of the Middle Ages, they start romanticizing the Roman age and saying there was this period called the Dark Ages, which, wasn't really dark. There's a lot of advances that happened during that in the Christian West. So this is just a very common human thing to romanticize the past, pretend it was better than it is now, when in reality, if you actually study the past 2,000 years of history, things have gotten exponentially better.
And with Christianity, you didn't have it emerge as a war in response to a certain group or religion or something like that. Islam has that. Islam emerges directly from its very beginning in war against the Meccan polytheists. And to be fair, Muslims don't really have a the Islamic society or Arab society doesn't really have anything to be proud of looking at the past, honestly. So you can't really make a comparison there. CC, Mo said the New Testament is true. Quran.search query Injil. Yeah, he did. Noel says, in Australistan, we can now be arrested for mean tweets. We're doomed. One ray of hope has been the rise of one nation. Powerful. Stay safe out there. Yo AP, Muhammad also taught Muslims to present themselves to the Alvut, just like he did when he went to the desert. That's good. David, what do you think about this?
That's true.
Good. I'm Billionaire says, AP, there is a dog behind you. Gabriel won't visit you. I know, that's why I have a dog with me. The Wingerling. Hey, what's up, Wingerling? I'm in your walls, AP. Oh, hi, David. Wingerling. Christus Dominus says, Alhamdulillah. Powerful. Mark, AP, it's pronounced Crouton Owens. It's very, very rude. It's very, very rude.
Very rude. Very rude, yes.
His name is Mendes Owens. Steph, surprised David has eyebrows after fire breathing. God protected his eyebrows for the anniversary Quran burning.
That was actually a consideration. I didn't know if it was going to work. I actually looked it up from a stuntman, and here's the idea. So, 80 proof, so that's 40% alcohol, is where it starts possibly being able to get some fire. But if you have like 100 proof or something like that, it looks like a little weak fire and so on. He said if you go all the way up to like Everclear at like 190 proof, he said the liquid is what ignites. And so if you breathe fire, it will actually ignite the fire and go up and right up, burn your mouth and burn your face and so on. Anyway, that's true of like 170 proof, 160 proof. 150 proof is like the borderline between where, because what you want is the liquid where you spit it out and it's the vapor that ignites, but it doesn't travel along the liquid because it's the vapor that starts burning. Anyway, 150 is like the borderline where it's kind of like it's like it could ignite and so on. So anyway, I had stuff that's 150 proof, so I didn't know until I actually like spit it out whether it was gonna like light my face up, but it didn't light my face up, so that worked out well.
The things you do to get attention from Muslims, man. What's wrong with you?
When it comes to attention, I'll do it.
Powerful. That's good. So I'm going to pin the link here once again to direct everybody to God Logic's channel. And we're going to call it a night in a little bit. I linked it. I redirected everyone to watch that channel. So go over and watch God Logic. I'm going to take a few final super chats here, and then we shall call it a night indeed. Aussie Abe said, "Do you have certainty?"
I have the certainty. You have to have the certainty.
No, I'm very, very fairly certain that that Muhammad did exist. I think it's rather implausible to argue that he did not exist.
Yeah, I agree.
Avery's got over 900 waiting.
Ooh.
Still not live though. Still not live.
Oh, Paul said, "Skip my super chat about Jack Neal podcast." Well, that's what you get.
I think that was about some sort of Andrew Tate interview, if I remember correctly. It just happened on there.
CC, the Trinity is in the Torah, Tanakh. Angel of the Lord looks human, glorious God, Father Moses saw from distance, Holy Spirit on men like David. Powerful. Dominic Powell, 2069, says, IP, did Genesis originate from Epic of Gilgamesh?
No, it's more complicated. See two videos I have. The first one is, did Genesis copy the Epic of Gilgamesh? And the second one was Genesis taken from pagan legends? Watch those two videos. That will cover that for you.
Okay, so did it originate from Epic of Gilgamesh or not?
No, they probably have common oral traditions that came down into both cultures.
Good. Sheikh Al-Khanazir says, AP, what does my name mean? It means Sheikh of pigs or something like that, or the pig. That's what it means, right? Pretty certain that's what that means.
Do you have the certainty that is what it means?
I have to brush up on my Arabic. Let me see. Yes. The pigs. That's what it means. Nice choice. Nice choice. Nice choice.
Speaking of pigs, I still haven't put his eyes on, man. Even though I have the eyes, I have the stick on googly eyes. This is the most beautiful pig anyone has ever seen.
Nice. My fairy tale life says, IP, what's your fave Momo story in the Quran?
Oh, the one where he's talking about Mary and assumes she's like the daughter of Aaron. Like that was pretty messed up. Yeah.
But which one is
the brother of Aaron? Excuse me. Yeah.
That is a wonderful Quran verse. I love it. It shows the wisdom of the
She
Quran.
would be the sister of Aaron.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
It's
late.
It shows great wisdom in the Quran. All right, everybody move over and watch God Logic's channel. I linked to it. It will also redirect.
Got 1,200 waiting. So yep.
Will it happen?
It will automatically redirect everyone who is watching this to God Logic's channel, and it will say over there, "Apostate Prophet's audience has joined this channel." I did that yesterday to you, David. Did you see that?
Yep, I did see that, and it was weird because I was like, "Hey, why is Dirtbag AP going live, setting up a rival live stream on purpose?"
Freaking
did it to
dirtbag.
see who's. I did it to show that I can get more views than you. So
Pretty lame.
You did it. You did it to show you're a traitor.
nice. So now it's gonna say Apostate Prophets audience has zooted this live stream. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Anything else? Are we going live tomorrow, David? IP, are you joining?
I'm
No?
going
Oh,
live tomorrow to talk
everybody,
about. Yeah,
what?
I'm going live tomorrow to talk about the latest Malik drama.
And then
Please stop talking
Monday,
with Malik. We have important things to do, man.
Monday we're going live to talk about Sheikh Uthman. We're going to cover some of this Avery drama, as well as some of this debate he had with AI David Wood, where he destroyed him. He destroyed AI David Wood. So we'll talk about that and all this drama with Avery on Monday on my channel.
Fantastic. All right, man. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks IP and David for joining.
Peace.
We will see y'all tomorrow, and we'll see you over there at God Logic's channel.
Stay away from Islam.